live on the internet.
Live on the
What
internet.
the
We even have
fuck am I
audio. Oh my
supposed to
god,
be
okay,
working
here we
on?
are.
I don't even
Sorry
remember
about that,
anymore.
everybody. My computer, or, well, not even my computer, my camera just decided to
Nope.
not. It threw a hissy fit, and I had to completely shut down my entire computer and boot it back up before my computer would acknowledge that I had a camera plugged in.
Your computer just executively knowed.
It
It was like
it said no. It was a
negative,
hard
Captain.
no, but we got
Negative.
it. We got there in the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. I'm not gonna argue with your camera.
Oh, hey, my phone would like me to know that we're live on YouTube. Must be true.
Must be true. Hello, chat. I don't know who's in. Hello to everybody who's made
Oh
it.
gosh, there's so many people in chat today. Let me scroll back
Ooh,
up to the
that
top
was
here.
not
There's
the
been
right
some
button.
chats going on.
People are waiting for us.
Nikki is in the chats telling everybody to
Hey,
hit the
Nikki.
like button. That's awesome. Yes, please, everybody do
Yeah.
hit the like button. That helps.
Smash that like button.
Raspberry's in chat. Lisa.
Do you know why
and
I just randomly have stitch markers free?
oh, because you're a knitter and you would just randomly have stitch markers.
Duly
We've
noted.
got Asa and Jude and Knit With Me and Lucia and Aaron. Hi, I remembered a thing. Good job. Good remembering.
Thanks for
We got
distracting me
Liz.
last minute, Aaron. I replied to that message. It was close. Almost didn't happen.
Knitting Purple.
Knitting
Oh my
purple.
gosh.
I love it.
Susanna just made it. Perfect. We
Hey, Susanna.
have a party in here today.
It's alive. I'm going to eat.
Sounds about right. I'm going to foolishly try to count some stitches.
Guys, I made fresh made bread today. It's 2 mornings in a row this house has smelled like rising bread.
Dang. I bought bakery bread yesterday, but that is not the same
Not the
thing.
same. It's not the
No.
same.
And
I
now
mean,
it's
it's
day old bakery
tasty.
bread.
It's still tasty, but it's not the same. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to put some carbs
You
in. I
make
haven't
me
actually
hungry.
had
I was
lunch.
not hungry,
I
and
was
then you started
so
talking about
busy.
bread.
So busy. Breakfast was at like 7:30 this morning,
Oh
and lunch
gosh.
is now going to be after 2.
Well, all right then.
Trust me, if there was enough funds in the account, guys, I would just order some skip the dishes and have it arranged to just deliver it to. I would do that for myself.
Isn't there a way, like when you're streaming, to set something up so that the viewers can send you food? Maybe we should do that.
People have suggested like one of those coffee, like buy me a cup of coffee funds.
Mm-hmm.
Koi-fi or koi, what is it called?
I think it is. It's pronounced coffee, but it's like KOFI.
Yeah. And occasionally, yes, people do PayPal me gifts to go buy yarn or splurge and get like, oh, I have a chocolate bar in the cupboard. Get like chocolate bars or coffee beans and stuff. Sometimes they send Erin the money and secret gift me things. So Erin just shows up with stuff and doesn't tell me who gifted it to me. She just shows up with like bags of coffee and donuts and goes, somebody but decided you needed presents. And I'm like, what? No. Hope you're sitting down and eating some of these with me. I do not need half a dozen donuts to myself, even if they are O donuts.
I mean, doesn't
I would
everybody
eat
need
them.
half a dozen O
I
donuts?
I would eat half a dozen O donuts, and they are cake donuts, and they are very much worth the $3 per donut.
I'm still sitting on my own hair. Okay, here we go.
I watched Rachel Makesey's video this week.
Mm-hmm.
She chopped her hair.
It hurts
Like
me so much when they do that. I mean, obviously,
full on bob up to here chopped.
it always looks so cute when
It
they do
looks
that.
so good. It looks
And
so good.
obviously
She's
that's
so
what
happy
they wanted
that
to
she
do,
did it.
and
Oh yeah,
like
she's so happy.
I'm happy for them,
I
but
watched it
also
and I
just
went,
hurts.
I gotta warn Diana because if she watches that and she's not
I
prepared,
appreciate the warning. Yeah, that's like one of those content warnings that nobody ever gives.
nobody thinks of. I think of it. I'm like, oh, Diana needs a content warning for this. This is, well, nobody does content warnings for when people have upset stomachs, and we're not talking about it because Diana can tell you I stopped eating, I stopped drinking, I full blown panic attack. It is a thing I cannot handle. And
Yeah,
everybody freaking talks about it. I'm like, it's disgusting.
I was kind of
Don't
joking
share.
about mine, but yours very much is real.
I executively nope out of conversations. Like I leave chats. I leave rooms when it comes up in conversation. I can't. And everyone's just like, well, whatever. I'm like, no, it's not a whatever. If I have to be respectful of your weird habits, be respectful of my weird habits. Dang it.
Also says we are a touch out of focus. That's interesting.
Out of focus. That's
Yeah,
all on Diana's end.
it is all on my end today. Well, let me take a look at that.
True story.
Um, do you want to do
Five
our?
plus minutes of camera problems. I will do our intro while Diana pushes buttons.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, and Aaron.
we're in
Aaron
focus
says,
from my perspective.
I'm always happy to facilitate surprise treats and then help eat them.
Yes, Erin helps. She helps secure them and she helps consume them, for which I am greatly appreciative. All right,
No,
so
we're just. I mean, we're capturing my display, so I don't know how we're out of focus. I don't know.
guys, welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
I have absolutely no idea what the episode number is.
87, 287. Oh, I forgot to put my sign up. I changed the numbers on my sign like 3 days ago because I was so on point. I forgot to put the sign up.
Put the sign up, silly lady. Diana currently calls Waterloo, Ontario home, and I currently call Winnipeg, Manitoba home. It is a Sunday, it is an afternoon, it is the first Sunday of the month, so we are live. Hopefully everybody who is able to watch this later enjoys the craziness as much as everybody who in chat right now is going to enjoy the craziness. Sad news to start the podcast off with. My parents were going to come down next week and we were going to do Thanksgiving together. My dad gave Mom COVID. Mom is not happy.
No.
Mom's not happy. So they can't come down unless by some miracle Mom's not testing positive anymore. So she is grumpy, and justifiably so. She was going to not have to cook for a couple of days. She's going to stay with me.
No
and
kidding.
Dad was going to be farmed off to
though?
my sister. Otherwise, yeah, she's miserable, but you're sick. You've been invaded by the
like
tiny
a regular
chickens.
level of misery, not like I'm going to lose my lungs now misery.
Oh, that's the biggest fear at this point now, because Mom's lungs are as bad as mine. So if it settles into her chest, that means it's a full-on winter harsh cough and at least one bout with bronchitis, if not two. So it is very, very bad. So if you have people in your life who don't think COVID is a thing, point me in their direction so I can schmuck them harshly, because it is a thing. And it now has prevented my mother from coming to visit me, which makes me grumpy because my mom buys chocolate. There's squinty eyes of distaste going on. And my daddy takes me to the mall.
Well, I know your mom doesn't do hugs, but appropriate sympathetic gesture to your mom.
Looks like you're trying to give her leprosy when you give her a hug. She's not a hugger, guys. It's not her thing.
General well wishes to your mother.
Yes, yeah. I'm hoping she feels a bit better today than she did yesterday. So I will call her tomorrow and check to make sure she has not died of tiny chicken plague. Because what am I going to do? I'm in another province. Like she's like me when she's sick. She just really just wants to be left alone to sleep and just sort of just rest and drink the hot liquids and get better. Yeah, that she doesn't want people at the best of times. When she's sick, it's not the best of times. She really doesn't want people around her at the not best of times.
No, who does? No, that's no fun.
Dad's starting to feel better, so at least we know he's almost through. So that's good. Which is great because we've been prepping in this house and the other house to have parents next week, and all that prep work is up the window.
Well, I mean, hey, everything's clean.
Yeah, and then some.
So, I mean, that's not so bad. Having clean stuff.
Yeah,
that sucks, though.
It does. No.
Oh, Susanna's feeling better, though. That's good.
Good. Which, yeah, because I know we've had some people who've been sick here in the chats. Everybody knows I was sick the other week. I have all the windows open.
Hugs?
Zen hugs.
Oh, no. Also says a relative of a coworker ended up in hospital due to normal, in quotes, lung infection and got COVID at the hospital.
Yes. It's incredibly contagious, and nobody masks. They don't mask, they don't wash their hands, they don't stay apart, and they don't allow anything to inconvenience their lives at all anymore. So those of us that struggle are back to where we were pre-pandemic, which was risking death with the regular cold and flu, only now we also have COVID to deal with too. It's great. Super excited. As one of those people who has to deal with it all the time. Not impressed.
We love playing roulette when we go out of the house.
We just proved it. I spend my time around very, very healthy people. They didn't even notice they had a head cold. They wouldn't have noticed they had a minor head cold. It
Yeah, I
would
do
not have even
apologize.
registered.
I appear to have not gotten sick this week, which means I probably had whatever it was and gave it to you, and I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You don't need to. It's not something you can track. COVID, you can track. That's what annoys me. Like, you could prevent that. And if we just stuck to masks, we would prevent a lot of everything else.
Yeah.
Can we just stick to masks?
And Nikki says you're
Just make it
sounding better this
socially
week.
acceptable. I am. I'm feeling better. Also, stuff is dying finally. Thank the gods. That was overly dramatic. It is finally fall, which
Thank
means the
God things are
plants.
dying after talking
Thank
about
God things are
COVID.
dying. The plants are
No,
finally
plant things.
dying.
Plant
The
things are
plant
dying.
things are finally dying. So it will make my breathing easier. And the heat's on the building, which means I can have the fresh air flowing through all the time because the steam heat's on. So, which is great because fresh air makes it easier for me to breathe when the plants are dying. I breathe the best in the wintertime, guys. It's one of the reasons it's my favorite season. Oxygen is my friend. Oh god, I'm shedding hair like crazy.
Apparently, I'm just allergic to all the plants in southern Ontario, so I've just like
I
sniffly in the
found
spring, summer's okay, and then I'm sniffly again in the fall.
I
Like,
found the monster sitting on my doll today.
all the
The
way up
little
there?
snot bar, the little snot bar goes all the way from the top of that sewing machine all the way across over her cat tree and onto the other sewing table.
Well,
This
that's
thing
not cool.
collapses on her. She's going to hurt herself, which means replacing this has now gone to the top of the list of things I have to do
Ugh.
because I can't risk her being in the on the cube unit and having the cube unit. Guys, it's just wires with little plastic knobs holding it together.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
like,
like
it only supports yarn.
it only supports yarn. I need
And I
I
guess
need a
temporarily
proper.
a cat, but if she decides to sleep
God,
up there, that's going to be a problem.
she's 20 pounds. She can't. She really shouldn't be up there. And I mean, I chased her off, but that's not gonna stop her from getting back up there.
No,
Cat brain.
especially when you're not around.
That's not going to work. So like, I have to get a proper cube unit. So like, that's gone to the top of the list, which is not what I wanted to get first. I wanted to get my board games off the floor. That's what I wanted to do next. Okay.
Cats.
Being a cat mom, I double fed her this morning. She got brunch. So she got breakfast and lunch at the same time. And I found the Friskies beef cuts and gravy. And it's
Oh,
really hard to get a case of beef cuts and gravy because they
mm-hmm.
always sell it in the medley packs. And she doesn't do chicken. And they always pair the beef with the chicken or the turkey. And she doesn't do
Yeah.
birds. But I found it. I found a case of Friskies, beef cuts and gravy, wet cat food.
Nice.
And her half of her usual salmon stuff because she eats fish, she eats beef, she eats deer, she eats bison,
Just not birds.
just not birds. Not birds.
Susanna says, I know how that is, and suggests IKEA shelves.
Yeah, as soon as I can afford IKEA shelves, I will absolutely do that because that is the goal is to go to the IKEA shelving because it's white, which means I can see into it, easy to put together, as in I don't need anything more than the pictures. I don't
Mm-hmm.
actually need to read the instructions. Carpenter's daughter. I don't actually need anything else other than that. 30 plus years of helping my dad put together things. I
I would be
yes,
confident that you could. Although,
it's a skill set I
didn't your
have.
sister, who is also a carpenter's daughter, successfully put together an IKEA chair wrong a few months back?
I suspect that may have been her husband, not her.
Ah,
I,
okay.
I don't know which one of the two of them, and I don't know how they work together for these sorts of things. So I don't know, but she's never struggled with anything else. She just did the chair upside down. I don't know. I don't know,
Which
guys.
is that's amazing.
It's hilarious. It's like, you did a what now? It's IKEA. She's like, oh no, it was dumb, and I should not have done it. And I absolutely recognized where I did not pay attention to which direction I was putting the seat when I did it. So no, it's all me.
Knitting Purple says her cat won't eat fish. And oh, Susanna's reading something. Let me go back up in the messages.
My
Oh,
mom's
she's
cat.
listening to an audiobook called "How to Prevent the Next Pandemic" by Bill Gates, like Microsoft Bill Gates. Anyway,
Sure, why not? My mom's cat Bandit was allergic to salmon. Couldn't have it.
allergic to how do you? Okay. That's
How do you even
fun.
have a cat allergic to? Okay, cool. That
That's
was
that
sure.
cat doesn't know how to cat.
I don't know, Mr. Smokey, towards the end of his life.
It's like the whole
Poor.
stereotypical cat thing. They eat fish.
Well, yeah. I mean, Mr. Smokey got to the point where all he ate was chicken. They got to the point where they were trying to keep fat on him to the point where all he ate was KFC chicken
Oh gosh.
because the extra oils and fat in the deep frying, right? So
Yeah.
like they had KFC for several years every week so that there was KFC chicken in the fridge for half the week for Mr. Smokey to eat because he would just stuff himself. I do remember Mr. Smokey, the little tiny slender dude that he was,
Yeah.
baked out of
Yeah.
his
You had to
brain
make
for
sweaters for
over.
that thing.
I did have to make sweaters for him because he climbed under the covers. He got cold, guys. He was on anti-seizure medication for over half his life, so keeping weight on him was a problem for us. So whatever Mr. Smokey wanted, Mr. Smokey got because we could not feed him enough to keep weight on him. His
Oh
brother, we
gosh.
could not keep out of food enough to keep weight off of him.
They always seem to go like that.
It's like, really? What? But every time Dad napped, you knew where Smokey was. Smokey was right on top of Dad, absorbing that heat, napping with him.
This says my cat only eats dry food. She refuses everything else. Oh wow. Oh,
That's
and yes,
fair.
it was Microsoft Bill Gates, the book.
Okay,
Interesting.
good.
Okay.
I might have to look it up to see if it's any good.
Uh huh.
I did. What was that one I read last month about pandemics? It was
Oh,
about
something about
plagues and
patient
stuff.
zero.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was terribly fascinating because it had a lot of historical and scientific facts in there,
Mm-hmm.
and spaces and stuff where we've been doing really well in, on our progress, and places and stuff where we're doing absolutely worse than historical people for things. So,
Sorry, my door is rattling. I'm gonna shut that properly.
okay, rattling. What kind of
I
weird
forgot to
haunted
click
house
it
do you
shut.
live in?
Ah. I forgot to click it shut and my window's open a little bit, so it was just going rattle a little bit every time the wind blew.
Well, I suppose for a knitting podcast, we should probably talk knitting, okay?
Yeah, let's talk about some knitting.
Nice. And what's in our cup? And cool
Oh yeah,
threads. You know, all those other things we
all
do.
those things. Woolly workings. Yeah.
Some
Okay. Well,
ASMR brought to you by Teapots.
I'll start with what's in my cup then. I have coffee.
I
Are your
have
cups
pumpkin
fancier?
spice. It's a whole freaking kettle. It's a whole teapot, sorry. Whole
I
teapot.
just have a company branded mug.
I have a whole teapot. I'm not joking around with this pumpkin spice, guys. Don't worry, I also have peanut butter, bread, and sugar right next door to me.
I just realized I have such a missed opportunity. I went to the LCBO yesterday, and they
What is the
had
LCBO?
the LC, the Liquor Commission Board
Oh,
of
for
Ontario, the Alcohol
Ontario?
Store of Ontario.
Okay,
Yeah,
the LC of Ontario.
yes. There's just a BO in it as well. Anyway, the alcohol store, and I got a little bottle of pumpkin spice whiskey, and I could have
Okay.
put it in my coffee, and I didn't. It's a missed
What?
opportunity.
Who
I
are
tried a
you?
little bit of it yesterday, and as expected, it's just a whole lot of sugar with a little bit of like pumpkin spice, like the spices like cinnamon, cloves, and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really sugary, which is what I expected, and it was cheap, and so like I got it with the purpose of putting in tea and coffee, but I forgot to put it in my
Yes.
coffee.
Weirdo.
I know.
I do miss having not Bailey's Irish cream, but it was a brown bottle creamy liqueur,
Oh, Kahlua?
not Kahlua. It was less well known. It's from when I worked at the LC. It wasn't as well
Um,
known as Kahlua or Bailey's Irish
I
cream.
definitely can't help you though.
Um,
Those are
but
the
it was
only ones I know.
definitely, yeah. Oh, I know I can't remember the name of it either. It was a monk liqueur, and I would put
Ooh.
that in my coffees, and that was really very good. I liked the cream liqueurs and coffees. I really did like those a lot. I was primarily how I consumed it. You could shoot it, sure, absolutely. I never did. I thought that was a waste to go in the coffee. To go in the coffee. But I grew up drinking rum and Diet Coke, so drinking rum and anything other than Diet Coke is weird to me. I
That's
can have
fair.
vodka and other things, but rum and other things is and Wizard's like a mixed drink.
I felt a little bit silly buying stuff yesterday because I got this like cheap little bottle of like super sweet like mixing alcohol, and then I also got this really expensive bottle of really good scotch. And I'm like, what is this person that is buying both of these things? This
They
person is
probably
me.
thought the scotch
I am
was
the
for your
person.
husband. They probably thought the scotch was
Probably,
for your husband.
yeah. But no, the scotch is for me. It's always for me. He doesn't like scotch.
Well, I mean, I'm not a massive scotch fan either. I'm a tequila person when I drink.
Oh God, no. The first time, the first time I ever had tequila was at a work
Uh-oh.
lunch at the
Oh
end of my
God.
first co-op work term.
Why would you do that to yourself?
And
Two,
the story is not that I got obscenely drunk at a
three.
work lunch. The story is the very first time I tried to do a shot, it was just like a little bit too much and it burned more than I expected, and I choked on it. Like I full on
Jesus.
inhaled tequila into my lungs.
That's not good.
No. So I was coughing tequila
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
for like 45 minutes.
Everyone's got the one. Everyone's got the one thing they won't drink anymore because they've had a bad experience with it. Um,
So yeah, I don't do tequila. It
that's
burns.
fair. It does. It does. I have three objects I can talk about as far as projects go. Then we have some craft off, and I have a thing.
Yeah, I have two things that I can talk about,
Sure, I'll go first then.
plus the new
Let's see
craft
how
off.
this goes.
Yeah,
See
you
how
should
it
go
goes.
first. I'm gonna catch up on some chat here. Oh, Susanna says 4 years ago we had snow. Looks like 60 centimeters high in my backyard. Dang, that's
Yeah.
different to this year. Wasn't it like 27 in Alberta the other day?
It's not consistent. It's fall. It can do anything it wants, guys.
This is true. And Jude says you need a nice Scottish whiskey. Yes, everyone deserves nice Scottish whiskey.
I deserve a good-looking Scottish man. Let's go with that,
Also
guys.
that.
Anybody knows of some very good-looking men with accents want to date a blind lady? Let me know. Willing to relocate countries, but has to be able to be my sugar daddy. I just want a net. That's what I want to do.
You want a
I'll
sugar
keep
daddy with an
house.
accent.
I'll keep house. I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll keep house. I just don't want to work. I just want to be able to do that and knit and go out for coffees.
Oh, see, that sounds pretty great.
Isn't it? Super fine with it. Super okay. I don't keep telling Asa. All she has to do is just, get an apartment big enough for two of us, and I'll just come be her live-in roommate, and I'll do the cooking and cleaning. I don't see the problem with it.
It says get the man the whiskey is a bonus.
You're not wrong, Liz. You're not wrong. I'm almost 40, not dead, folks. All right, I got 2 pockets done for the cardigan that we're working on. It's 4. Did I do that right?
Yeah, something like
It's been
that.
over. It's been
I
over a
don't know
week
if
since I
anybody does
heard
Irish
the
in
description
chat.
of it.
We're trying.
Gaelic. It's called Gaelic, dear.
Oh, whatever.
So the 2 pockets are done, which means my gauge swatch is done. These were done on the 5mm, so now I can just count how many stitches I got per inch, multiply it by how many inches I want my finished garment to be, and then pick the size closest to it. So that is the next step, and I want to start the front panels. Ta-da! This is out of some gray heather from Brings a Little. It is kind of a bluey gray. It's definitely, now that it's worked up, you can see the gray part.
It does look more gray, but it looked
Once it's
very
worked
blue
up.
before.
It looks really blue in the skein, so I'm quite delighted. It's still definitely a cool blue gray. Like if I hold up the cuff, that's charcoal gray. It's still definitely a blue gray.
Sorry, chat's having fun talking about Scottish lovers.
I'm part Scot. It'd be fine. My dad would be okay if I moved to Scotland. It makes sense. He might get upset depending on the clan tartan I end up with, but that's all right. He'll live. So you can definitely tell it's more blue than gray when I hold it up next with the charcoal cuff behind it.
Yeah.
But it's still in the gray tone. It's just a much cooler gray. So I'm not super picky. I'll do Arabian. I'm okay with that.
Get out of here. There we go. So I've got straw bits in my yarn. It's
Heck,
very
I would do
rustic yarn.
Australian. It would give Diana an excuse to go all the way over to Australia.
Hmm.
We have to go visit
Apparently, I
Jocelyn.
have
She moved
family in
there.
Australia, however distantly.
Ooh, my.
That would be a weird trip to just like show up and be like, hey, you're like related to my grandmother's cousin's branch of the family, but hey.
Mhm. I literally have my brother, my father's brother lives in town, and I see him less often than I see my grandfather's sister's son. And I only see that cousin like twice a year. Same city, guys. We live in the same city. Or the bread's too tasty. Okay. You said that two, right?
I have two things.
Well, I got two left. So, do you want to go?
Sure. Just catch up on chat briefly. Jude was
Absolutely.
saying, to be fair, Scottish men are like normal men with a different accent. But
Pretty
that
much.
might be I'm spoiled by often crossing the border into Scotland. And then
Oh
also
yeah,
saying,
no, they're still bad. Like Norwegian accents. I just a good-looking man with an accent done.
it
Skin
just,
color not
an
really tied
accent.
to just an accent. Just a pretty man who wants to take care of me and likes
Also
adult fun
says,
times because that's a rule.
I want a Scottish lover. I think their accent would work for me.
Wouldn't it though? Wouldn't that just sound amazing first thing in the morning? Oh man. Oh. Oh,
Okay,
hello.
so I went on a walking tour in Scotland, um, and our tour guide was A
Gifted?
plus, A plus, 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 plus,
A plus
plus,
plus plus.
plus, 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 plus.
Yeah. Well,
Very
good runs
fitted
tour guides.
trousers.
Very
Left
fitted.
very little to the imagination.
Sometimes advertising is key.
He got a good tip.
Oh god, we should not objectify creatures. It's not cool. Here we are doing it anyway. I've been reading too many romance novels, guys.
And then Nikki was saying about sugar daddies. That is pretty much my life, only my sugar daddy keeps paying my bills. It is seriously limiting how much yarn and fiber I can buy. I have plenty of yarn and fiber, I'm just being silly. And also says, Australian men makes me think about Crocodile Dundee, and I'm
Oh
not that
no.
into him.
I don't go there with that. That's not where I go. It's not where I go.
But a man in a tartan and a Scottish castle, I could get used to being called Lassie. Couldn't we
Oh,
all?
hello. Or an Irishman?
Oh,
Whew.
that's also good.
Let's be honest, a lot of the British accents as well.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right. After that diversion.
Hey, look, guys, I have a Nightmare Before Christmas mug.
What was I talking about? I was talking about a thing. I was also working on that cardigan, and I
Did you get two
finished one
pockets on?
pocket. I have a
I'm
pocket and a
ahead.
bit.
I'm
You
waiting.
are you're ahead by a pocket.
Yeah. That's my only goal is to be done before Diana. I have
You're
so
ahead by a
much on my
pocket.
plate. Diana can tell you there is so much work on my plate right now. If she could win,
Yes,
there,
well, you
there are
decided
good
to release a
odds.
million patterns in
Million
around
all at
Halloween,
once.
so like you've done it to
Oh,
yourself.
do you have my hat there that I gave you?
It's in the other room, but I could grab it.
Okay, we'll do that in a moment then.
Okay. Yeah. So this is my pocket. If we focus, here we go. This is brown heather in the heritage base, Briggs and Little.
You got your yarn there. Read your yarn ball.
Yeah, it's over there.
Oh
It's
my God.
it's over there. Anyway,
Guys, I can't stop
so
eating
I'm
this bread.
bang on gauge, which is great.
I haven't even looked. What is gauge? Over 4 stitches
Uh,
or 4 inches.
Over 4 inches, it's 5 waffle squares over 4 inches, length and width,
Okay.
and I'm like bang on within like an eighth of a stitch, so close enough for an oversized cardigan.
Oh yeah.
More than close enough for an oversized cardigan. I think I actually made my pocket like a couple rows deeper than it needed to be, but you know what? I think it looks good this way. So as long as I do the other one the same, it'll be a nice deep pocket. You know, it'll hold a phone. Where's a phone? It'll, yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll
Ooh,
more than hold a phone. Yeah, there we go.
I design patterns, and I can never ever remember when your short stitches your
Then your
garment will
gauge.
be
No, wait, hang on. If you have got
if
too
you're
few stitches, then your stitches are too big. So you need
big.
to make your stitches smaller.
I don't want to make them smaller. I like this fabric.
Well, then you gotta do some math.
I got four waffle over 4 inches. I'm short a whole waffle.
Mm.
Well, technically, I'm short half a waffle.
Half a waffle.
I'm short half a waffle. It's true. And if we were recording, that would be the episode
That would be the
title.
episode title.
Short half a waffle. I'm
Asa
short
just
half a
finished
waffle.
her 18th pair of socks for the year.
Dear God, woman, I have
I think I've
feet.
only finished one pair of socks this year. Two pairs of
I have
socks?
feet
I don't remember.
that could use more socks. I'm never gonna knit enough socks to keep up with Asa. I love socks. I just don't enjoy knitting them that much. I love wearing them. I love wearing them. I get bored knitting them and I stop.
That's fair. Jude does not recommend Brummy accents. Yes. Gotta
Yeah,
say, yeah.
no, not so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Is it not all accents? Just some. Like an Arabic accent? Ooh, hello. That's another one. I sit up and pay attention.
I don't think I
But
know that one.
I like, I like the squishy.
It's so squishy. I'm
Like
gonna
the
end up
squishy.
when this is a whole cardigan, I'm gonna end up felting it. Not on purpose. I'm just gonna like sit here and play with it. Just like
You're gonna pet yourself till you felt yourself.
I'm just gonna be like doing this, and it's just gonna felt with my
Well,
hot,
if I'm
sweaty
two
hands because I'll
stitches
refuse to take
short,
it off.
I'm gonna have to look at the pattern. But I'm not. No, I like this fabric, which is why I made the second pocket and said whatever. The gauge is what it is.
Oh, how are you liking the hook? Are you still using your coffee ergonomic hook?
I am. The only problem I have with the coffee ergonomic hook isn't the ergonomic. It's is that when my eyes get tired and I want to feel the stitches, the coffee cup is too close to the top of the hook. So long as my eyes are
Uh,
doing well, I'm fine. But when it gets down to when I have to feel the stitches because I can't see them anymore, that's when I have problems and I have to switch to my other 5 millimeter hook. So I do like the ergonomics, so it's definitely helping my hand.
yeah, I figured out how to hold it differently than the other one because you have to like I
Well, I
realized
think
they like put a whole lot of thought into the angle of the cup at the end of it here so that everything's at the right angle so you can like hold it like this. Like it's
yes, yeah.
like they
Yeah,
put thought into that.
they did.
It's
They
good.
did. It was a really well designed hook. My only issue, and that's just strictly from a visual perspective. So when my eyes aren't tired, I absolutely use the ergonomic hook. And then when my eyes are tired, I just use the. It's still not that unergonomic because it's my squishy glue hook. So when my eyes are in good shape, I use this hook. And then when my eyes are not in good shape, I don't know where my blue squishy hook went. I have a blue rubber hook
Oh yeah.
that's just got a thicker rubber piece. You've seen it. I've used it a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
for
I've
projects.
got
So I still got the
yeah,
extra
some other ones.
squish. I'm able to use my fingers to feel the stitch up at the top of the hook and not get in the way of the coffee cup. So that's a visual limitation, not a hook design limitation. So I really like it.
Nikki says the more I see these cardigans, I want to make one of a bunch of brigs and little
Oh
in
yeah,
stand and cascade to 20. Both good choices. Yes,
good
yes.
choices. Good choices.
Solid choices.
Hiccup.
And also says socks are so quick and easy, just some relaxing. They take so much time though.
I think we need to discuss what your idea of quick and easy is.
And she also says now I have 2 Jocelyn tests and 2 blankets for whips. Okay, well that'll take a little bit longer. Good job slowing her down.
I do my best, folks. I do my best.
Liz says also the human knitting machine. Pretty much. Jude is over halfway through the body of the fingering weight jumper I cast on last weekend. I was a klutz that klutzed and studies with strong painkillers is bad.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yes, it is. Uh, it only leads to loopy brain. And while fun, not very productive. Listen,
What's
I
going on?
may have
Good, good, good.
rewatched Sailor Moon
Oh
this
my.
month.
You know, I've never actually watched Sailor Moon. I feel like I should. That's not supposed to be a double crochet. Don't make that a double
My
crochet.
my dad would download it overnight on dial-up when we lived up north when we were little. Like way back when the Super Nintendo and like Sega Genesis was a thing. So like 90s guys.
Don't knock it. I've got a Super Nintendo in that closet over there.
I don't. It's the era I grew up in. And I would get up in the morning knowing that once I got home from school, the bribery to get my sister up and get her to school and get her home from school and get my homework done was that there was a Sailor Moon episode I could watch after dinner.
That had to be downloaded over dial up, which would take like 6 hours for a 30-minute episode.
Overnight. Overnight. It took overnight to upload this.
Damn, that's like, so somewhere between 6 and 10 hours for what, a 20-minute episode?
Yeah, like a 22-minute episode. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's dedication. Like,
Well, my
that's
dad
good
also
dad
let me
right
play
there.
Doom when it first came out. So like
Ooh. I've still never played Doom. I mean, I know what it is. I've seen enough clips of it, but I've never
I
actually
could
played it.
probably play the original. I don't like the remastered original. I don't think I could play the later ones because they're too dark. Like
Mm.
I need the 90s color scheme for video games, movies, television shows
Yeah, well,
where
they made.
dark
I
wasn't
don't know
dark.
why they went and made everything so dark. Like, just,
You
okay,
miss
it's
so many
happening at night. It
details.
make it blue light.
Yeah,
Done.
I lose the whole screen. And I know you guys aren't seeing everything. I know you guys are seeing everything. Though Mr. B is going to, and if you want a fun challenge, find a movie or a TV show that you have never watched before that has described audio and only listen to it. Don't watch it, only listen to it and see how much you can get out of it. He's trying to figure out why I don't watch movies anymore. And my response is because they're boring to me. I don't get enough out of described audio to make it worthwhile.
I feel like I should try that, but like with a half-hour episode of something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, short, truncate it, do a TV show.
Yeah, because yeah, that does
But
sound like exhausting.
I mean, don't bother with Witcher. I can't see anything on Witcher at all. Not a thing. So no point in doing that one. Game of Thrones? No. I mean, the occasional day scene I can see, but that's about it.
Oh, hey, look, the dragon breathe fire.
I can see the fire. That's it,
Interesting.
guys. Yeah.
I
So he
I
wants
will
to
have to try
see
that.
where the
Perhaps I
bridge
will try
is.
that with an episode of Sailor Moon.
I don't even know if it's described audio. I just listened to it because I watched it when I was
I
a
don't know.
kid, so
It's
it's not
like I
like I
feel
really
like
need to
there
watch it
must
again.
be at this point because this was like a cultural thing.
It was yeah, it was like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a thing. It
It
is
was
a thing.
absolutely
It's
a
not
thing. So I
was a
feel
thing.
like
It
at this
is a
point
thing.
it must have been like remastered and described, and it's gotta be.
Yes.
There's got
Don't
to be at
listen to
least
the
more than one set of dubs.
do not do the original dub unless you grew up with the original dub. Do not do that to yourself. Just listen to the new
I
dub. It is much better.
I'm given to understand that anime dubs in the 90s were hilariously awful.
Oh, oh, they were bad. They're a beautiful, beautiful part of my young
There's a
adulthood.
whole ass piece of hay in here.
Well, yeah, it's a
I know,
true
like, there's
rustic
minimal
yard.
processing on this, which is fine. It's just like, wow,
Mhm.
that was a big chunk.
Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite part about Brings a Little is that it's not super processed.
It's gonna
Fits
look like a
that niche
farm
of
underneath
woolly
me when I'm
wool.
done.
Woolly wool. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I need to find a fabric store that is online that ships to Canada or is in Canada and ships within Canada that carries a nice variety of fabrics.
I got an email recently
I
that
want
told me about other Canadian online fabric stores, and if I can find it again, I will forward it to you.
I will want that email. I want to make a Halloween skirt
Mmm. Yes.
with a solid colored blouse with statement sleeves. That's what I want to make for my Halloween outfit, which means
Yes.
I need to buy a metric ton of Halloween yardage. So, like, I have to buy the fabric somewhere where I can get that much yardage, which means online or warehouses where they have that much yardage available.
Yeah.
And then the color of the blouse will be whatever strong, solid color contrast that works with said patterning I pick. And I'm going to do the walking skirt, like the gorge panel skirt.
But
So it is
Halloween
this
fabric?
Halloween fabric, so like it's going to be
Ah.
obscenely costly, but that's fine because that I will wear. I'm gonna set it up for my natural waist, like for like my actual waist, not corseted, because I'll put extra buttons in so I can button it down, like snap it down to a corseted waist, but have the original sizing set for my actual waistline. That's what I want to do. Because then I could put petticoats underneath on the Octobers where it's cold, and I can leave the petticoats not underneath on the Octobers where it's not cold. And the fullness of the skirt is just dictated by the seasonal wear, the season. But in like a cotton, so if it's warm, I'm not melting to death.
Hmm.
Cotton twill, not a cotton satin, cotton twill. Heck, even a quilting cotton would be okay. It'd be a heavier weight cotton, but it would have that structure needed for that oversized garment. Like that's what I want. I don't. We're talking like either one of those big sleeves with like the wrappy parts at the elbow, so it's like that
I
elbow
want
length.
Bernadette
Yeah,
Banner's pinstriped walking skirt. I want that in my life.
that does not surprise me. You need to start sewing.
I know. I need to get my sewing stuff back from B.
Oh my lord.
I know. I'm the worst. She got kitties. I have to go over and visit the kitties sometime.
Then you
And then
need
I
to just
can
pick
remember
up
maybe
your.
to ask for my sewing stuff.
I might just honestly be like, hey, I might message your husband and go, the next time you go to Bee's house, could you, for the love of Georgia, bring her sewing machine home?
I mean, I don't know where I'd put it on this disaster of a desk behind me.
Oh god. My sewing machine is currently buried at the moment, so not this one, the other one. Oh wait, is it my turn again? Where are we?
I think so. Yeah, let me catch up on chat for a second.
I
Nikki
am not
says,
caffeinated. That's the thing, guys.
oh gosh, okay. Nikki says, I'm using a Prim, your binomial hook. Prim, your binomial hook. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And it's great and not expensive, and it's at Michael's. Nice.
I don't mind paying
Uh,
for a hook if it's good.
Liz says, I think socks are fun to knit. I'm just a sloth knitter. Fair. I think I'm like
You
a
know
just
what?
squirrel knitter. Just like, ooh,
No,
new shiny
no,
project.
know your knitting style and go with him. What was it? I think it was like Sherry posted on Instagram. What kind of knitter are you like by like yarn base? Like I dream of being an ombre knitter. Like
Ooh.
I wish my knitting personality was that of an ombre. It's not. It's variegated and self striping. Uh,
If I'm going to describe my knitting style as an animal, it's going to have to be squirrel, because, like, ooh, shiny thing. Or maybe magpie? Magpie. Could be magpie.
I should find that photo. I've saved. I had to
Like, I
screen
collect all the shiny things,
capture.
but I only actually knit in neutrals.
I had to screen capture the Instagram image, crop it, blow it up, and then read it.
Oh, jeez.
Guys, print on photos. It's not my friend. It's not my friend. All right. I can't show you the other thing, like my second thing, because I put it down somewhere and I can't find it. I was doing the ribbing for a pair of matching fingerless mittens for Diana. Uh it's somewhere. It's not fancy. It's 1x1 twisted rib in Big Blue Bus. It's just ribbing. There's the that just I got 1 inch of ribbing done, and I don't know where the freaking ball is or the yarn. Like I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this apartment. It has not left this apartment. I just don't know where in here it is.
You'll find it.
Okay, it'll show up. But I did. I swear, I put some work into it. And that is for the Spooky Vibes fingerless mittens. So that was the second thing I worked on this week that I can talk about. What's your last thing?
My last thing is the craft off. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Nikki clarified about the hook that I couldn't pronounce. It was an
oh,
autocorrect thing. But it is a Prim hook, spelled Prym, but pronounced Prim, like prim and proper.
ah, okay. Well,
Has a thicker handle, apparently.
sure. Well, yeah, because that's really where the ergonomic comes in, is giving you a thicker handle. So I did get more work done on the big cowl. As everybody remembers, I had to restart. That's great. In theory, the fingerless mittens, so the Spooky Vibe fingerless mittens come out on Friday. I would show the hat to you, which came out this Friday, but Diana has it and it's not with her.
I'll get it while you talk.
Cool. So I have re-begun work on a very, very, very long cowl. So I've got my stripes done. I'm all set up with my stitch markers to separate all of my color work panel sections so I can keep track of when I get messes so that I don't, in theory, mess up a whole row, just a couple of stitches, because me and fingering and tinking is a thing for the moment to not drive myself crazy, because this will be connected in the cowl this way, like loop-wise. I hate rolling and stockinette rolls so bad. Stockinette rolls so bad that I mattress stitched my end closed so that it would stop rolling.
Oh,
You see those
jeez.
big old pink stitches? I couldn't. It was just driving me up the wall. I had to do something about it. So there we are.
The
That's where we're
hat
at.
totally fits over my ponytail with a hair stick in it. Totally
What you're
fits.
saying is I made a big enough hat.
I mean, yes. It also absolutely does not work when I've got a hair stick in.
No, it's definitely not slouchy.
uh, I'll just hold that up closer in case anybody has not seen the pretty haunted houses and the cute little pumpkins and the little
So,
bubbly cauldrons.
so that's the Spooky Vibes hat. So that one's already out, which is great. Thanks to Sherry, who was my test editor for that. You should see hers is in orange as the primary color. Oh, so good, so good, so excited. So that's out. Thank heavens. One down, almost two down. There's four all told, guys. So I'm halfway in Crazyland. Halfway in Crazyland. Do you know
Only
what I
halfway?
suspect? It's things. But that's what I've been working on that I can talk about. I obviously can't talk about the secret knitting with Louise because that's this Thursday. So I
Yep.
have a few more days to either finish or start
The various things. What was the goal for this one?
a 8 foot long worsted weight Fair Isle scarf
Oh yeah.
and Halloween themed. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It was a big goal this month.
I
But
I'm
really,
really
six
excited to see
millimeters,
how you both
six
got.
millimeter needles to get gauge, worsted. It's not even 100 stitches around.
I'm very excited to see how far you both got.
So I'm excited to see how far Louise got. I know one of the ladies in Fibers Friend posted a finished photo of hers. It looks so good. I don't disagree. The scarf looks amazing. It's so in your face Halloween. I love it. I love it. When will I wear a worsted weight scarf in October? I don't know. That's not the point.
Briefly for some pictures.
Probably, yeah. Okay. But again, I can't tell you guys how far I got on that until Thursday. So next Sunday when we record, I can let Diana in on the secret. Actually, no, on like Friday morning, I'll do posts because stops. Shall we talk craft off? Have we reached that space? Should I talk about what I plan? I posted a photo today. Did you see I posted a photo today?
Oh, I had not seen a photo today. I'll go
But I
look at the
posted a
photo
photo
today.
today.
I'm going to look at it right now.
I'm
I was
doing a
busy
thing.
figuring out camera things.
That was like for the last 10 minutes before we went live.
Yeah. How
You
early do
had
you
a
think I got
whole
up
morning
today?
before that.
What time do you think I got up today?
Not early
It's a
enough.
weekend.
Not early enough. That's what you got up today. Not early enough,
Ooh,
man.
the pretty Star Trek yarns.
Uh
Okay.
huh. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Okay.
Stuff and things and stuff.
Okay. What's chat saying? Asa's probably going to finish one Jocelyn test this week, and I just casted on a pair of baby mittens. Oh, well, those will be done in like an hour.
Don't worry, Asa. If you want more Jocelyn tests, let me know.
Nikki's spinning with Corriedale,
I'll take
and
half a day
there's
and
a
work up
lot of
some non-color work for you.
It's a lot of VM that falls out as spin. Fair, fair.
Yeah.
Oh, related to your sewing fabric stores, Suzanne
Yeah.
was saying, ask Cheryl of My Needlecraft.
Oh yeah. It's Louise's
I
friend
don't
for
know.
Fiber Friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I should.
Knit with Me definitely wants to, or blah, blah, blah. Knit with Me says, cute, I would love to buy a Halloween skirt or make it.
Well, I'm like, you see all the skirts and they're all very, very short, very, very tight, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I want to live my very best Edwardian Miss Frizzle life, which means floor length walking skirts. And Truly Victorian sells the patterns for you, and you can print the PDF. So, Victorian walking skirt purchased, pattern purchased. I just need to go get the right amount of fabric for it, which I'm going to do. And obviously notions and extras and add-ons, and because it's like if I go with quilting cotton, it'll be heavy, so I won't have to add too much to the bottom of the hem to get the shape I want. But if I end up going with like a lighter weight cotton or something, I'm gonna have to put like tarlatan at the bottom to give it a nice shape, right? Like because you want that
Yeah.
weight at the bottom so it stays out. You could
Yep.
fleece
Yep.
line
Yep.
it, you can there's other ways to line that bottom hem piece and do that. And because it's going to touch the ground almost and be used in the great outdoors of the real life world, I'm probably also going to do some sort of banding on the bottom. I'm not sure what I'm going to use yet to protect that bottom hem because it is a lot easier to just pull out a worn out edging detail and replace it with new edging detail than it is to replace the entire hem of a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that too. Like, am I fully petticoating it and under corseting the whole layers? No, that's a much larger project that I have time for this month. I do have two corset patterns from Truly Victoria that I want, and there's the princess walking skirt from Truly Victoria that I want. It's a much higher waistband, so it's almost like an empire waistband for the
Oh yeah.
blouse top, but it has some boning and in the top piece, and then it flows up to the full skirt. There's several things in Truly Victoria that I want that I like the shapes of the garment, but I don't want a full on historically accurate outfit. So it's more history bounding. So like the blouse will be very modern shape and its style and design aesthetic because that's the balance for me. That's my happy place
Yeah.
with my super adult white backpack with bunny ears.
That's a look. That's gonna be one
That's
heck of
all
a
Jocelyn.
micro trend.
It's all Jocelyn. It's all Jocelyn. We know this. I like dark academia, dark cottagecore. Like that's I don't do a lot in the way of like subtle. And I definitely spent most of my 20s and most of my 30s being subtle. And I'm over that.
Yeah.
So, like in
Life's too short for
30,
subtlety. Go
if you get
bold.
in your 30s and you become more comfortable with who you are as a person, and I definitely have, I'm definitely relaxed. And you know, this is just me. It's cool, whatever. It's fine. And so now I'm creeping into my 40s. My mom assures me my ability to give a flying fart is going to reduce, and I barely give one now.
That's impressive. I mean, bold sweaters for the win. So
Yeah. So you just become even more comfortable and you just stop caring what other people think. I'm game for that. I'm game for that
it's
decade.
I'm into it. It's nice.
So I'm very excited for that. And I'm very excited that it's a thing. I mean, I'm still going to stand out like nobody's business in person. So,
Yeah. It's more fun
but
that
as my
way.
mom pointed out, I could put on a petticoat or two underneath a skirt and wear it with leggings and winter boots, and I'll be quite warm enough with that a good winter coat. And she's not wrong, I will be.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no reason for me to have to stay stuck with pants, which I don't enjoy.
No? Do it
So
up?
I'm not going to. I'm going to go back to skirts with wide bottle sized pockets.
Absolutely.
None of this 20th century marketing. Shall I talk about what I'm going to make with all those pretty skeins of yarn I posted?
Sure, yeah. Nikki was saying, oh, I changed my vote. If the fingerless mitts are for Diana, then I changed my vote for the mitts for the craft off. It was so strongly in one direction, one
Oh,
vote's not going to change it, I'm afraid. It
neither
was
one of
very
us.
strongly in a particular
It was
direction.
neither one of us had votes that were even remotely close. They were absolutely one or the other.
It was,
All
yeah.
right. I'm not doing the Stephen West M cow.
Uh huh.
I know Diana has a very beautiful sparkly yarn to do hers with. I know everyone's gearing up to start the 6th of October. I'm very, very excited. It's a 5 skein project. So I have 5 skeins of Star Trek yarn. One of them is obviously a mini. A mini. And I figure, let's challenge Diana to keep her on track.
Oh dear.
So we're going to race.
Oh no.
Except I'm going to do a Find Your Fade, which is a 5 skein figuring weight big shawl. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. And we're going to encourage Diana to keep on track with her squirreling for 4 or 5 weeks. She's done spectacular with these challenges before. She's bombed these challenges before. It could go either way. But I want to turn this into a Star Trek Find Your Fate.
It's gonna be glorious. I've been resisting winding my balls of yarn this week because, I had things to finish, like secret crafting and whatnot.
I'm going to wind
Man,
these this week, get it set
just,
up. I will not start till the 6th of October because that is the start date for the Stephen West Uncal.
I want to start.
But I'm going to break down the Find Your Fate shawl because it's 5 weeks for the Stephen West.
Is
Or is it
5 weeks? 4 weeks? I think it might be 4 weeks.
Might be
I don't
four
know. Let's
weeks.
find out. Let's find out.
That's why we've got the 20 gram in, because that first section doesn't actually, like, I could just fade out of the mini early into one of my other skeins. So I'm going to have to break down the Find Your Fade into chunks so that I know where I need to be week to week to week to be finished in 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know. I haven't looked.
4 weeks. There's going to be four clues. The first one is released on the 6th.
Excellent. So I'm going to start on the 6th, and I'll break it into 4 weeks for the shawl. And we're going to check in every week and see how you're doing.
We'll try. We'll see how this goes.
So
I have to do that, and I have to keep up with
yes.
the fall equinox, and I still have to do all the Christmas advent calendar crafting because I wasn't here with all my yarn to do that.
You weren't going to have done it in September anyway. Nice try, buddy.
That's true, but nice I couldn't even pretend to try.
Okay. Now let's be honest. We all know the cardigan's going to suffer for advent calendar crafting.
Yeah.
We already know this is going to happen. I know you want the cardigan, so do I.
I want the cardigan.
Because you're also going to want to get the shawl done so it's not lingering on your needles.
Like everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I are in the same boat, but I have 3-4mm needles, so I'm doing it. I'm going to have the Find Your Fade race with you. The cardigan. Our waffle cardigans of doom. I have advent crafting. I have 3 more patterns to publish, so we're up to 6 items. I have the check-in knitting with Louise. We're up to 7 items. And then, are you ready? Are you ready for secret info? I don't think you're ready for secret info.
Okay, let's have it.
I'm designing and testing an MCal this month to release for the 1st of December for Advents. I gotta get that done. And somehow, make a whole entire Halloween thing, which is 2 items, top and a bottom. We're at 10 things. There's only 31 days in October. Plus my usual stuff, which is Vlogtober, so I vlog every day in October, and we've got extra content coming out, and I'm trying to do more stuff on the Patreon feeds. So Diana's workload's about to increase because I'm going to start assigning her things because I'm running out of space.
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks to Jen, who volunteered to test knit that MCal, and Asa, who also volunteered to test knit that MCal. I have to knit it twice because I have to do it once with my stuff, and then I have to do it a second time with Erin's Advent minis because that is the official colors that I'll be using. So I get to do an Advent 2 months in a row so that I'm ahead of you guys. In the background, without showing anybody, because it is an AM McCall, so you cannot see it, for it is a mystery. Cool. Is everybody excited?
I'm excited.
I'm already, my brain doesn't know what to do. I've got so much work on the plate. All right. So Diana still has a pretty good chance of staying ahead of me because boy, do we have me booked. Boy, do we have me booked.
I have 2 saving graces this month that might let me keep up. One is Thanksgiving is a holiday, so I got an extra crafting day.
I'm with you. I just remembered something. Keep going.
Oh, no.
We're good.
And I have a home site burst at work, which basically means I have 2 days where I don't really do work. I just have video calls all day. So crochet.
Yeah.
Or knitting or whatever.
I wanted to release the spinning project bags and sock sack bags at the Edmonton Fiber Frolic in November, which means I also have all of that sewing to do too.
Uh-huh.
Cool beans, guys.
You're gonna sleep when?
Never again. That's it.
Okay.
I'm done with sleep.
Okay. All right.
It's passe. It's no longer in vogue. meet sleep deprived Jocelyn. It's the new in thing.
I mean, sleepy eyes are the trend these days.
I come by mine naturally. 100% old school up in here, guys. No, seriously, where did I put that freaking ball of yarn in that stupid cuff? I need to get it finished. So irritated. All right, shall we talk craft off knitting? How's the chat doing? How are you doing in chat? Have I dropped enough bombs today? No, I don't have caffeine. I want
They think your
Newburger.
Star Trek yarn is very pretty.
My Star Trek yarn is glorious. It's Erin yarn. So pretty. Oh my god, and Erin's dropping off a sweater quantity of the October colorway shortly, so I need to get my wood woes done so that I can wear that. Oh lord. Plus
yeah.
the skirt over here. Oh my god, I have so much to do. I need a to-do list
Apparently.
of doom with it like all broken
People
down.
are declaring whether they are or are not doing the Stephen West MCal.
Well, I didn't want to do the Stephen West MCal. Not that I don't love a good Stephen West MCal. I do love a good Stephen West MCal. It's just not on my radar, and I couldn't find colors that screamed must be made MCal. You know.
I
But I
wasn't going to
do
do it,
want to
and
find your
then I
face.
fell down in Erin's sale bin, and, you know.
Came out glorious. Oh, Erin's
Yeah,
posting links.
if you're going to make, like, a 10% sparkly shawl, Stephen West is the way to do it.
I think so too. What am I looking at? Erin posted a link. You are listening to talk about Sailor Moon reminded me of this sweater. Oh, it's not released yet, but that's okay. There's a Sailor Moon sweater.
There's a Sailor Moon sweater? Oh no. Jude saying, that just made my workload seem light, and I have 2 units study and exams to sit this month. Yes, that is a lot.
My joy in life is to go. It's okay, don't worry. You're not alone. Not alone. So you're going to be able to find me most days on the Patreon Discord channel, just floating around listening to classical music and working. So I'm always up for knit nights. So my life is going to be knitting and sewing. How am I? That doesn't include work to make money for food, people. All right, so let's talk.
Yeah, don't forget to do that. Yeah, okay, let's talk craft off.
Let's start craft off. I've got some heavy bags hanging off over here. Do you want to go first? You should go first. I've been talking a lot. Oh my god.
Okay, well, this might be.
I want Newburger and I want a pumpkin spice latte. That's what I want.
Oh man, I want Newburger. This may be my most abysmal failure for craft off yet.
Oh no, that does not bode well.
So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I got 12 or 13 rows done. I did put a progress keeper in.
Okay, okay.
Where is it? It's somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's right in the middle. Yeah. So I got 12 or 13 rows done. I did a section. One of the like 10 sections I had left to do. So now I only have 9 sections left.
Oh no.
So yeah, I did pretty badly. Oh hey, it goes with
boy.
my sweater that I'm wearing today. That's cool. Yeah, I did not do well this month. It was not good. I packed it. I brought it with me. I dragged it all over the place in Manitoba and never worked on it. I picked it up when I got home.
Yep. You did that to yourself. Okay. All right.
100%. So I abysmally failed my craft off. How'd you do?
My goal was to be split from my sleeves, because that's the worst of the knitting, getting it big enough to get over your sleeve, because that's the most number of stitches you have on the needles. Like I wanted to be split from my sleeves, and I wanted to be working on the body, because it's just easier after you get to the body, right? Everybody's with me?
Yeah.
You know what really helps? If you change your needle when you're done your ribbing to the body size, not your ribbing needle size.
Oh, no.
So cool. Did a couple rows of that, and I went, wait a minute, I'm way too tense. Whatever. It's up at the back, right up here in the high collar. No one's gonna notice. Move to my bigger needles, and just sort of gently zhuzh the gauge differential. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna notice, so I don't care. It's fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
Do you know what also would help? If I read the increases properly. I have 120 more stitches than I'm supposed to.
Oh,
because I did the increases very, 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 very wrong. Very, very wrong.
that does
So
look like an awful lot of increases.
I need to A, learn how to read. Uh, I read like 20 books this month. I need to learn how to read.
Oh no.
And I need to, the next time Erin is able to stop by and visit, get her to kindly pick up my ribbing stitches and help me rip back to my ribbing and start again. The increases for this sweater are gorgeous. I love them. I'm really not bothered to knit it again. What I have to remember to do is read the pattern.
Otherwise, you wind up with 120 too many stitches. You really can't fudge that.
Which, even worse, guys, I didn't realize I was that many stitches over till the day after Diana flew home. So if I had literally checked it 2 or 3 days in advance, I could have asked Diana to pick these up for me quietly.
Yeah, I could have. Oh
Yeah,
dear.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Isn't that
no.
just a kicker? Is that not just a kicker? Oh my gosh. Now, not the end of the world because I won't be able to wear this till the middle of winter. Anyway, it's fingering held double. I'm really grumpy about it.
Oh
May have been
gee.
some swear words. There may have been some swear words. I'm not
That's rough.
impressed.
That's rough.
Not impressed.
But I
But
mean, you made so
whatever.
much more progress than I did.
I made progress.
Nevertheless.
I have to take it all.
Oof.
So that is where I am
Alright.
at.
So September was not a good craft off month.
September was not our shining
September was a
moment
bad
in
craft
this
off month. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to get my winning craft off project.
I mean, it's very obviously the winners. So I'm going to just tuck all these balls of yarn back in the bag. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to tuck the project back in the bag, and sometime this month, when I see Erin at some point, I'll beg for some help. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Balls fell down. Balls fell down. Go boom. Where's my cat? She's not in here. She must be sleeping on the bed.
Liz says reading pattern instructions is overrated.
You think that, and then think of all the time I would save if I just did that. If I just did as instructed, my life would be far less dramatic, people.
Nikki says, that's okay, Jocelyn. I did a stitch count on my lounger, and I'm also way off on a worsted weight sweater, and somehow ended up way off. How? I don't know. I'm only like 3 or 4 inches in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, what? Fine. And when I sat down and read the pattern, one line of text that I just did not. I saw it, I read it, I did not hear what the instructions were telling me. So I'm like, I can't even blame anything but myself for this. I was
Yeah, I feel
not
you.
happy.
I have
I was
absolutely done that. I
Oh, I
have
think we all
absolutely
have.
missed the
Yeah.
second column if it's arranged in a 2 column format.
Oh, I know
Done
arranging
that
things
too.
in a 2 column format saves on paper space. I freaking hate it so much. It
It's because I look at my
messes with
patterns on my phone,
narrators.
right? So like I zoom in to the one column so I can see it, and then I get to the bottom of the page and I'm like, cool, I'm done. Go to the next page, completely forgetting that there's a second column. But I also appreciate that it's a column that I can zoom in on. Because when it's just full width, then it's like now I have to like scroll across to read the sentence or turn the phone sideways, but then I have like no vertical height, and so I don't know. Bigger screen for patterns, I think.
Stop doing
It's
it
been
on your
time for
phone. Well, it's been time for a new phone since before you moved to Ontario.
yeah, it's been time for a new phone for a while. So I
Yeah.
want to get the flippy phones.
Oh, you want to go old
The
school?
no, like the new ones that like the where the screen folds open. The I think it's a Samsung phone. I think it's
Yeah,
maybe
it's
even
it's
called
the
the
new
Fold.
it's the new old school thing. They're harking back to old flip phones where you would flip yeah.
Yeah, but then there's like the big screen on the inside.
Yes, they've just updated it.
Yeah,
It's their version of the new scrunchie.
but like the in between a phone and a tablet, because a tablet I will never use because it'll just get put on a surface somewhere and I'll just forget that it exists. It has to be able to fit in my pocket and come with me places.
Yes.
But also if it could just be bigger
Be bigger.
sometimes. That would be great.
Since I'm thinking like I have to upgrade my phone because I'm at the point where I upgrade my phone every 2.5 years. I do it
I
consistently
upgrade
because
my
I
phone
like
when
new
it starts
phones.
breaking.
I like new phones. I like the rebate value, and I get full rebate value when I turn the phone in before I've damaged it too much. Super fine with me.
I just use them till
Uh,
I die. I do the same
that's
thing
fair.
with cars.
That's fair. But I'm thinking I need to get a. My tablet is old enough now that I need to start taking a look at replacing my tablet. And I'm thinking I'm going to go to a Surface Pro because I have the gaming computer now, which is at home. But if I have the Surface Pro, then I have a travel work tablet that I can also do the recordings and the other stuff. So like I can keep doing podcast work when I'm not at home
Mm,
because
that'd be good.
it's a bigger. It's essentially a mini laptop.
Yeah,
So that's sort of what I'm looking into because that'll be that sort of bridge the gap between the this computer cannot go anywhere. It is a freaking tower system, which I'm not a fan of. I don't like towers. I prefer laptops and my phone because my phone can do a lot, but sometimes I need a computer. Sometimes I need that computer to be able to go with me when I go places.
totally understand.
And then in which case I'll
My
put my patterns
siblings
on my Surface.
got a Surface Pro.
Yeah, it'd be a
They were
great
using it
study.
for school and like reading music and everything, so
Oh yeah, it'd be great for
it
that.
works.
Absolutely great for that. Yeah. So I've been talking with my dad. We've been sort of puzzling out which one would be good, and we're just sort of just probably gonna save, wait till whatever new release happens when we get to the point where we've saved enough to do it, and just get the beefy of the McBeefyists to give me the most space to play with. Noting, guys, I'm an Android fan. I'm not a Mac fan, so I prefer Android.
I will
But I
say,
have
if
been
you're a software
eyeballing.
developer, Macs are nice.
Yes, I love their hardware. I love their software. I just hate the culture.
That's fair. I
I love the Apple
get
Watch
given
fall
Macs for
detection.
work, so I would never buy a Mac, but I like them
Could you
for work.
imagine? Could you imagine me with a smartwatch with fall detection? How freaking handy that would be for people who stress the snot out of me going places by myself. People
Does
stress the
Android not
snot
have
about
that?
me going places by myself.
Android's gotta have that.
I don't know if Android has it. I know Apple's got it because they were just talking about it on their new watch. So who
Okay,
knows?
gotta count some rows. 1, 2, 3, 4,
All right, I've
5,
got my craft off
6,
stuff
7, 8,
prepped.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
No, I
19,
will
20,
not count
1,
over her,
22,
guys.
23,
I'm
24.
sure you
Haha!
are in the chat. I'm not.
Okay, there we go. There's the top of a pocket. Yes, I know chat's about to help me count. Fortunately, there's about a 15-second delay, so they're only getting the counting now?
I need to refill my teacup.
Okay, let's do craft off.
Let's
Craft
do craft
off.
off.
Yeah, let me pull up the thing that says. Oh, no. The thing that
That's
says
not what I
how
want.
ridiculously skewed the vote was.
Oh my god, so skewed,
Thank you, Asa,
guys.
for counting up all the votes. I love these little
Every month,
tables.
every
They
month,
bring
it
me
is
joy.
beautiful. I get really excited. I'm even more excited that I don't have to do it because it would not be that pretty if I did.
Oh, same.
It would not be that pretty if I did it.
Okay.
All right.
So, for you, it was between the jelly roll and a crochet couch throw.
Yes. So we had the options of my poor little jelly roll, which is this is all I have done.
Oh, we have to pull up the other option.
Pull my bed. Pull my bed for me. Pull my bed for me. Or
Poor little jelly roll.
poor little jelly roll. It's so tiny. It needs some work done on it. It actually lives in an Ossabeck. And also sent me. Can you tell the blanket project's still at a small stage? So it was that
So,
because guys, the minis are starting to take over. Or it was to continue work on my sister's couch throw and try to get this done. This is a Christmas present, so at some point this needs to be worked on before December anyway, because I gotta give
makes
it away
sense, makes
in
sense.
December. So this is crocheted, and the jelly roll is obviously knit. So those were my two options that people had to vote for. Diana's not here, so stuff on the head.
I appreciate you putting the things on your head.
You're welcome.
So, unfortunately, your jelly roll got almost no love with only
I know,
16% of the votes.
So sad.
It
I'm like,
lost hard on
nobody,
all three platforms.
nobody wants me to work on the jelly roll. Like
Everyone's
yours even
excited
did
about
better
your
than
couch
mine.
throw.
Everybody wants the couch throw, so I am officially working on the couch throw this month. But oh, that poor jelly roll! Like it took a
No love
in the
for the
votes.
jelly roll.
No love for the jelly roll. I was like, whoa, this is not even a maybe. It's a hard no. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna more work on the couch store. Because it is a couch store because it's for Christmas. I'm going to try to push for a finish, and that's a big stretch for me because I have so much on my plate already this month. But I am going to try to push for a finish so that it's done, or at the point where I'm like, if one or two more repeats to get to the right size, like one more color repeat, like so close it hurts, or
Yeah.
I'm done. I just need to do the edging. That's the
Mm-hmm.
level of finish I want for this bad boy. So I'm going to aim for that. I do have a impromptu last minute project for my sister to have me work on first, but that's okay. That's 2 days and done sort of deal. So I would do that first.
What
They're
pattern
renovating
is
my.
that?
They're This is the annual Christmas blanket by the Crochet Crowd. So Mikey of the Crochet Crowd, he does it in a baby size, a couch throw size, and a blanket size, and I'm doing the couch throw size. So that is through Yarn Inspirations and the YouTube. So I
So
literally
that'll be
will
that's a
just,
free pattern then. Oh,
it's a free
because it
pattern.
looks so
Yeah.
good, and I just every time you crochet something, I'm like, dang, that looks good. I have to add that to my to make list.
Mikey makes amazing crochet blankets. He's learning to knit now. I'm so excited for him. Oh, I'm so excited for him. So that's good. I went with large color blocks. That is just my site preference and my sister's site preference. The annual Christmas blanket is done in red, green, and white and changes colors a lot more. So you get
A
a
lot
lot
more
more of
stripey.
a lot more stripy going on. I didn't want stripy. I wanted solid color blocks. So I went solid color blocks. That's a choice. So you could also just do it all in one color and
Mm-hmm.
then just have the textures, right? So that's always an option. I love his blankets, and I'm very excited that he's knitting. It's a joy to watch people discover a new craft.
Mm-hmm.
It's always so good. So I'm gonna work on that. This is at a Burnett Premium in black and some shockingly impeccable in the blue.
What? Bernat Premium and Impeccable. I've never
Almost
seen
like
you use those before.
almost like they're my favorite acrylic crochet yarns to crochet with. What? All right, there we go. That's how we went with that one.
Okay. So for me, the choices were
Now I don't show
to
anybody for a month.
option one was to finish one single mitt. So the whole point of these was that I picked something small because I have the Fall Equinox cal to keep up on, I have the Stephen West M cal to keep up on, and I have Advent calendar stuff to do, so I have to pick small things for the craft off this month to have any hope in heck of achieving the goals. So option number one
Don't mind me,
was
I'm
to
just ogling
finish.
this sweater
Oh,
that isn't out yet. Diana, we have to make this.
I will look at it after. I'm very excited though. When you make that sound, it's got to be good.
So
So option one was to finish this one single Hufflepuff mitten. It's got a very intricate color work chart. This started life as the niece and nephew requested Harry Potter mittens like 2 years ago,
yes.
and I keep trying
Yep.
different patterns, and I really like this pattern. It's just way too big for children, but Jocelyn tried it on and is a Hufflepuff, and so maybe Christmas mittens if they get done in time. But the goal for this month is just to finish this one single mitten. So that was option one. Option two, this has been in the craft off rotation before. No love for this. Um, these are the Contours Fingerless Mittens. It is my probably oldest yarn and pattern combination. I believe I bought the yarn and the pattern with the intent that they would go together at the first Manitoba Fiber Festival. And this
Yes.
year was the 10th Manitoba Fiber Festival. So that tells you how long that's been around. I didn't start it, though, until a couple years ago, I think. And I still want it. So the goal for this one was to finish both mittens because they're fingerless and
Yes.
far less intricate than the Harry Potter ones.
They really are. I voted for the easier ones, for the record.
Really? You didn't vote for your own Christmas present?
I felt like that was perhaps a little, just a touch, just a touch wrong. I was like, okay, no,
I
that's
fully expected you to vote for your own Christmas present.
super self-serving. Like that was super self-serving. So I was like, no, go for the ones where she makes something for herself.
Anyway,
Didn't matter. Didn't matter.
my the fingerless mitts got very little love. Instagram
yeah.
liked them.
Oh
Instagram
yeah.
liked them just very slightly more.
Very
But nobody
slightly
else
more.
did. So with 73% of the vote, we're doing the Harry Potter mints. Well, the
Oh
one
yeah.
singular Harry Potter mitten.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that's fine. The yarn for these is Michael's yarn. It's
The wool like.
wool-like.
Yeah,
Wool-like,
it's wool
yes,
like.
because I have the other colors for the Ravenclaw mittens, which I'll make for myself at some point, which is going to be the same pattern, just in the Ravenclaw colors of blue and silver. The movie Ravenclaw colors of blue and silver, as opposed to the book colors
Yes.
of blue and copper.
Yes.
Bronze, not copper.
Bronze. Yeah. Well, it made sense because they're too big for the kids, and you're not having any luck adapting the pattern down. But I'm Hufflepuff and you're Ravenclaw, so let's just make Harry Potter mittens for ourselves.
Yeah. What was I playing? I played
Because
this
both
out for,
of us
yes,
are
wool-like.
old enough to understand the difference between fictional characters in a fictional world and the author who creates them, and how to separate the two. And the little ones might not be there yet.
They seem to be. Well, I mean, they were reading Harry Potter a while back, which is why they wanted the mittens.
Well, yeah, but have
Yeah,
we been
there's that
introduced to
whole
how
like.
bad the author is?
I
Yeah.
I know they would have talked about it at least a little, but I mean they are still fairly young kids, so I don't.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a conversation we have with my niece now. She's 15, and then she watched Harry Potter when she was growing up, but that was before the reveal. So now she looks at it and she's like, she loves it because it was part of her childhood, but she's read problematic authors before.
Yeah.
So when it came up, she asked me how I deal with it. I said it's different once something is released and published. It is no longer the domain of the author, no matter what the author says. It is now a public item. So how it is received, how it is interpreted, and how it is beloved or not beloved has absolutely nothing to do with the human who created the work.
It definitely changes subsequent rereadings, and it makes me a little bit sad.
It
But
doesn't
it's
for
such
me,
a
but
huge, important part of my childhood.
I enjoy the stories a lot. But again, I've read stories by many authors who are heavily problematic for this day and age's political correctness. So I'm
A
accustomed to
great
doing
many
that
of the famous
separation.
authors were.
A great many of historical anybody's are.
That's a fair statement.
So you have to be able to do that, and be able to enjoy reading older literature without having that influx in. You don't have to like who they were. You don't have to like them as human beings. It's not necessary.
Oh wait. Oh, that was
I mean,
loud.
really. If we can't enjoy books now because of how authors were, then we can't enjoy most art. Videos, pictures, paintings, because a lot of us are problematic. We're humans. We are problematic. It's just a full stop.
Humans are problematic.
Humans are
Humans are
problematic.
hugely problematic. Just as a blanket statement, humans are problematic.
Humans are problematic. So it's like, do I do it through the library so she doesn't get money? Yes, I do it through the library so she doesn't get money. She's already gotten money out of me. So what am I going to do now? I'm not going to waste my time bemoaning it. And I'll certainly will still read the stories, but I will note that when we read the stories, the author is not a good human.
I'm very interested to reread the books, actually, knowing everything, because
I
I've seen some people like pointing out things like, hey, there were like hints that she was maybe not so cool. And I'm like, oh, wow, yep, that's really obvious in retrospect. So I'm really curious to reread the books and see how much of that I catch. Because I have not reread the books as an adult at all.
I've
But
reread them several
definitely
times.
not at all since she
And the
was
only books I will never go back
not
to are
cool.
J.R.R. Tolkien. That man was dry. Dry,
Yeah,
boring
but the
man.
world building, man, that man should have made D&D modules.
Now, if it was a
That's I
D&D
think that's what
module,
he actually wanted to do.
that would have been freaking amazing. Lord of the Rings should have been a D&D module. But as a book, oh my gosh. I'm never
Hot
reading
button
those
topic:
books
Lord of the
again.
Rings should have been a D&D module.
It really should have
That
been.
entire
It really should have
thing,
been.
that whole thing that was like a 3-movie trilogy
Should
that's
have
now
just
like a
been
show and
D&D campaign.
D&D
D&D
campaign.
campaign.
I
Come
mean,
on,
it
guys.
is. It's exactly what it is.
So elaborate. Loved it. Enjoyed it. Will never read it again.
I want to reread that one again.
You don't need, what, 50 million pages for the Council of Elrond. My gosh.
That was a
So
long time.
long.
That was like 5 chapters. I seem to
For a bunch
recall.
of guys sitting in a circle talking.
Fantasy
Oh,
bros doing fantasy
God.
bro things. Ah.
So much talking. Oh my God. No.
Us is rereading Lord of the Rings right now.
I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't make me. I'd rather read more Totoskevsky. Totoskevsky. Oh,
The Russian name
guy
that
who
we can't pronounce.
that I can never pronounce. He did he's got a couple.
Uh huh.
What would be his biggest one? Would it be Karenina? Would that be his biggest publication people might
Oh
know him
gosh,
by?
I could not tell you. I have
I mean, the
one
first of his I read was
or
The
two.
Idiot. That's actually the name of the book.
Oh
That's
jeez.
like more stream of consciousness than story. That was hard to follow.
Oh,
Dostoevsky.
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 Yes, that one. I know that one. I know.
Anna Karenina. That'll be his most famous one for most people in the 21st century.
I know the word you're going for. So look at that
So
pattern.
I got to go back and do some more 19th century literature reading. I'm really not. I'm not well versed in my 19th century literature reading. Now, if we want to talk like the letters of Abelard and Heloise and Pliny the Elder and most Greek philosophers, yeah, I'm there. I've read those works several
Oh,
times.
that is a cute sweater. Okay, sorry, I've
Umber.
seen it
Yeah,
now.
no, we need the sweater. We both need that sweater. It's called Usagi. It's coming out soon. I may
That
have commented
does
and
look
liked it
really
already
cool. Yep.
because, yes, it doesn't fit any of my aesthetic for what I want. I don't care. I want the sweater. Don't care. I think she did that in fingering.
It looks like fingering.
I wonder if I could do that in the October Sock Club colorway.
Susanna, the sweater that we're referring to is in the pattern links on Discord. It's the Usagi, which
Usagi?
apparently is not released yet, so it's a link to an Instagram post, but it's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Okay. 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 It's cool, guys. I'm good. I've completely lost my mind. Maybe kind of lost my mind. I went and looked for my lace yarns to make a Hohi, Locatelli, Lacy Boxy. I don't even like boxies. I will end up adapting that pattern so much. It would honestly just be easier for me to write one. It would just be easier for me to write one. That is how much I'm going to end up altering this thing. It's okay. Yeah, cool. When with what time? With what time? I don't know. With what time? I have no idea. No idea. All right. Well, that gets us through craft off. That gets us through what we're working on. That gets us through everything else. It's time for the torture, right? Are we at torture time?
We are at torture time, yes.
I should not be allowed on the internet when I'm sleep deprived and undercaffeinated. All right. What was the last word I gave you? It was lilacs, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
I'm gonna wait 15 seconds to check and confirm that with me. See, now all I want to do is design Sailor Moon themed stuff.
Yeah.
Guys,
I have lost the link. Sherry gave me a link for your torture.
I'm not
Sherry
helping
gave
you.
me a link for your torture and I didn't pull it up. I have to search.
Does anybody remember what the last word Diana got was?
I believe it was lilacs.
I think it was lilacs.
And I believe you gave me a break last week.
I did give you a break last week. Which case, your word for the day is laundry.
Laundry?
Yes,
Oh.
laundry.
Wonderful. Okay. If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/northernknitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night, enabling each other into buying and starting all of the things, and cheering appropriately when you finish the things.
Yes, that is what we do.
Yep.
Pumpkins! People are making pumpkins! About pumpkins!
And I suppose also in there we occasionally complain about how we have to do laundry. Like how I have to do a travel's worth of laundry.
You've been home for a week!
Yes. Well, because we did laundry the night before we left. So, like the night before we left Manitoba, so there wasn't like enough for a load when we got back. and then it's just been added to all week, but it was like more than, like, it wasn't enough for a load, but like it wasn't nothing, and I should have done it yesterday, and I just super didn't, and
Why
so now
don't
there's
you
laundry.
divest yourself of this idea that there needs to be a laundry day? You work
Well, there
from
is sort
home.
of a laundry day, because in Ontario, electricity is, it changes expensiveness depending on when you
Yes.
do the stuff.
Okay,
So laundry doesn't happen until after 7 p.m. or
that's fine.
on weekends. So like weekends is generically the laundry day, just as dictated by Ontario Hydro.
Well, yeah, but you could do all the stuff that you hang dry on a weeknight and hang dry it.
I could, and I don't. I could. I totally could. I don't.
Okay, okay.
Normally, I just do it on a Saturday, and it's fine, and it takes like 2 hours to do all of the laundry, and it's fine.
That's
And
not even that
I
long.
just haven't. I just
Takes
haven't.
me longer to do my laundry. I don't know how my sister takes 8 hours to do 3 loads, but she does. No idea.
Oh
I
gosh.
don't. I just don't understand how that works. All right. I interrupted your thingy. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you cannot financially support the podcast, do not worry. Liking, subscribing, commenting down below, and interacting with us on social media is a great way, not only to help build and grow the community, which is always fun to do, but also share with us what you're working on. Tag us on the Instagram posts. Join the Facebook cult. Facebook.
That Facebook cult. Oh my gosh.
The Facebook call. Doing things on there and showing us what you're working on allows us to see what you're doing, which is always fun. Always fun. I know. I gotta get back doing the late night knitting on Instagram. I know. I don't know when. I gotta find time for more Instagram lives. We need to find more time for gaming. In fact, after this live is done, she's not allowed to leave that chair until we've booked out the month.
Yes. This is a good plan.
All that's going on right now. We only have one cow running. Thank the Lord. The fall equinox cal is currently running. Rules and regulations for that can be found on the podcast's show note page, which is northernknitspodcast.com. Diana kindly and very thoroughly make sure all the rules are written up properly so she remembers what they are, and so that all of you guys can remember what they are. General rule of thumb is if you are knitting it and it is for fall and you can somehow justify it as a fall equinox knit, or crochet or spin or weave or English paper piecing, I'm probably going to tell you yes. I very rarely say no. In fact, I've only ever said no to baby knits and small children knits. That is the only time I really say no. As always, dinosaurs, unicorns, and dragons are eternal. They just count.
Always.
So if you're knitting a stuffy,
yeah.
they count. Even if it's for a little person, doesn't matter. Dragons, dinosaurs, unicorns, eternal. They count for everything. That's just a rule. It's just
Erin says I can be like her mom and get my laundry done before 7 a.m. No. Not unless
Diana
I'm doing
up
it
before 7
a.m.
a.m. Yeah, if she's up overnight, I could see that happening, but she
Yeah,
won't be
like,
up
if
early
I'm
enough.
up till 3 a.m., sure, yeah.
I mean, you probably are some nights anyway.
Not recently.
You finally
Apparently
discovered that
I'm
you're
old
old and you're tired at
Yeah.
11:45,
Well, after
at
an
11:15.
entire month of socializing, yeah, I'm gonna sleep a lot. It was a lot. I
You
tried
should
to
do it
do
more
two
often.
social things in a 24-hour span this weekend, and oof, that
You need
was too many
to
social things. I slept for an additional 12 hours.
build up your resistances.
I just I need more breaks. I need to rebuild that cache of social energy.
Oh, remember that you are not the kind of human that gets energized or
Oh, I
less
know.
less drained from two and not book yourself two back to backs because you know it's not a thing you do well.
Yeah,
I
I
can
did
do
know
two
that,
back to backs, but
and
even I'm tired after two back to backs.
I definitely can't do two back to backs after an entire month of visiting.
I
That's
couldn't do two
it
back
was
to
foolish.
backs just freestanding alone, not without being really tired. And I am a people person. Even I would need a break, guys. Even I would need a break. All right. On the bright side,
Is it time for your torture?
time for my torture. Did you
Yeah,
find the link, or are we moving
I
on
did
to
find.
books?
I found the link. So it was suggested that once a month, in addition to my having to be tortured by working a random word into the Patreon ad, we can torture Jocelyn with some random trivia.
It's apparently working a random word. It isn't enough of a torture for me. I need some fun.
So, here's your random trivia question. I'm going to give you a
Oh,
science
Lord.
question.
I'm not very smart, guys.
Would you prefer a history question?
I'm not very smart in history.
Okay, we'll stick with the science question. Decompression sickness, which can occur when a diver surfaces too quickly, is also called what?
The bends.
As I click the button. Oh, geez. I believe that is the correct answer. However, I have now. Uh, I mucked it up and clicked on the wrong button, and now the answer's gone. But yes, I believe you are correct. Good thing I picked a question I knew the answer to.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
Lord.
work on that. Okay, your torture's done.
Yeah.
We can move on to books now.
It's because I know a lot about a very small window of history that like nobody talks about. So all the history questions will be like World War II, World War One, and I know nothing. I know
Yeah,
nothing. I
I
know
was
less than
scrolling through
nothing.
history question like, can we have some like medieval, please?
Yeah, it's
No.
very little happens in the medieval or pre-medieval, which is where my study is. So like I don't know anything about history, guys. All right, books. Oh my god, books, guys. Well, Diana, how'd you do?
I finished no books.
Oh my god.
I started several books at the beginning of the month, thinking
Mm-hmm.
that I would listen to some audiobooks on the plane, and
Uh-huh.
then I slept on the plane, like out cold for the full flight. So that didn't happen. So I started some books and finished nothing. And then of course I didn't have time to read anything, and so my they had to go back to the library, and then I had to wait on a hold. So now I finally got them back out of the library this week. So I am currently listening to The Lost Apothecary on your recommendation. I'm in chapter 1, so
It's a good book. Well,
I
I mean,
believe you.
chapter one is chapter like what are you gonna do? Chapter one is chapter one. You don't know anything yet. You don't know if you like it. It's chapter one.
And
They're still like, this is the world.
I'm currently rewaiting for my hold again to read the rest of Siege and Storm.
Jeez.
I
Okay,
got several
okay,
chapters into that one,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, that didn't get finished. And oh, you know what? It's not on this list, but I also started reading the Jade City. The Jade City.
Ooh,
Did I
that's a
talk
good one.
about that one before? I don't remember. Anyway, that one also lapsed, and I'm on hold for it again.
All right.
So,
The
yeah,
Jade City is good. Cool. So the laundry list begins.
let's have
You're all
it.
paying attention? These are books I have started and finished. Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Because Allegiant came up from the library first, so I read book 3 before book 2, but it was a reread, so still enjoy the series. The Sum, what is it? This is going to take forever because my eyes are so tired. The Sum of All Kisses by Julia Quinn. It is a Smith Smythe quartet. It's romance, bodice ripper romance. The Secrets of Sir Richard Kensworthy by Julia Quinn. I think that's another Smith Smythe. That is a Smith Smythe quartet. That's number 4. Then we've got Once Upon a Tower. Yeah, Once Upon a Tower by Eloisa James, which is a fairy tale number 5. Then we've got Desperate Duchesses by Eloisa James, which is the Desperate Duchesses series, number 1. The Duchess and Me by Eloisa and The Duchess of Mine. This Duchess of Mine. I can read. It's fine, guys. This is why I do audiobooks. By Eloisa James. That is the Desperate Duchesses number 5. None of these bodice rippers were done in order. These are straight up classic, romantic, historical bodice rippers. and I've read them all before. I read I'm pretty much I'm current with Eloisa James, I'm current with Julia Quinn, and I'm current with like a couple of other romance novelists because I have been reading them since I was 16 because my mom reads them. They're comfort, they're potato chips to me. So I consume them like two of them a day sometimes. I
Oh
will
gosh.
just consume these books. How are we going? We're not done yet. Four Nights with the Duke. Desperate Duchess is number eight. Six? It's either eight or a six. Again by Eloisa James. Then we've got An Affair Before Christmas, another Desperate Duchesses. That's number two. Then we've got A Night Like This by Julia Quinn, which is the Smythe Smith Quartet, number two. I just read these as they came up available on hold. 3 Weeks with Lady X, which is Desperate Duchesses number seven. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that one a lot. All right. Just Like Heaven by Julia Quinn, which is Smythe Smith number one. We're still going.
Good grief.
And
Did you read
yes,
like
Diana
30,
visited.
30
No,
books or something?
just shy of 20. Wicked Intentions by Maiden Lane, number one. Yeah, it's Maiden Lane's book number one in the series by Elizabeth Hoyt. She's new. I liked that. I had to try to find the other ones for that one. Born to be Wild by Eloisa James, which is the Born to be Wild series, I think. The Wilds of London. The Wilds of Linden? The Wilds of Linden Castle. That's number three. The series is The Wild of Linden's Castle. The Born to be Wild, I've absolutely read out of order. Say Yes to the Duke is The Wives of Linden Castle number five. The Wilds of Linden Castle number five, which is an Eloisa James series of books. No, I'm not done yet. A Rogue of One's Own, League of Extraordinary Women number two by Evie Dunmore. You might enjoy that series, even though it's a bodice ripper. It's very cute. And she does go through and explain where she messed with historical dates to make the story work, which I appreciate that she understands she messed with the historical dates to make the story work and just admitted that she did it. So that people aren't like, oh, well, this is, and just having a false fact. She goes, no, it actually, this is when it occurred for story purposes. I changed its date so that it would fit better with the storyline of what I was making, which is fine. You can do it. Just freaking acknowledge that you've done it. Then for fun, I needed some nonfiction. So I listened to How to Be a Victorian by Ruth Goodman, which is the How to Be number one in the book series by Ruth Goodman. She is a experimental archaeologist. Pretty famous for like, did you ever watch The Victorian Farm?
I've heard of it, maybe watched a couple of clips.
Yeah, she's the lady who does those year-long experience where like she lives as a Victorian for a year, she lives as an Edwardian for a year, she does like
Can I do that in retirement? I want to do that.
that's her. She's an archaeologist. That's what she does. That's her work.
I
She is
want
an
to do
academic.
that. How do I do that? I want to do that.
And then Duchess by Night came up, which is Desperate Duchesses number three by Eloisa James. So I started to finish that. These are still books I finished. I decided I needed to reread. There was too much romance in my life, so I reread The Martian by Angie Weir. Finished it this morning. And then I started and finished A Duke of Her Own by Eloisa James. Desperate Duchess is number six. And then I started a book today that I have not marked down. So 19 this month. That's what I read. I read 19 books this month. On top
Wow.
of Diana visiting, on top of all of the stuff I was doing, on top of rewatching Sailor Moon, and keeping up with Critical Role.
Okay, so I didn't read much and finished nothing, and I'm still not even totally caught up on Critical Role. I still have the second half of the most recent episode.
And I've got 15 books on hold still at the library. Now they're all non-fictions and science fiction and fantasy, so like they're bigger books. So the bigger books will slow me down, but like a 300-400 page romance novel, I will rip through one of those in less than a day.
Well, those are fairly easy reads. There's not too much to digest in those versus a non-fiction or something that's like
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the
take
life
time
of
to
Leonardo.
process.
I got like the life of Leonardo da Vinci. I've got some other sort of stuff like that, which also, again, not a good human by today's standards. So I've got a bunch of that sort of stuff sitting on my plate waiting for me, and I'll get some long-term holds that in theory will come out shortly. So lots of reading still to do. Thank heavens for audiobooks because it would suck to not be able to read as much as I want to. And I need to do some more academic reading. So I need to do some more papers and scholars and stuff. So I need to get a crack-a-lackin'.
A crack-a-lackin'?
Get a crack-a-lackin'.
Okay.
I want a burger so bad. Oh, God. I really can't afford it.
We want a burger. Whoops.
Yeah, but you can just go get a burger. You have tech income.
This is true. I do appreciate the tech income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I do not have that capacity, ma'am.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
yes,
18,
I'm
19,
waiting for
20,
her to finish counting.
21, 22,
I'm a
23,
kind
24. Haha! I did it. I did it right. Okay.
Listen,
cool.
I paid rent and I paid hydro. Those were important.
Those are important.
Because I like having the lights on and I like having a house to live in. So that's important for me. And I love being able to go, something's wrong and not have to fix it. So worth it. I just put in the request for repair, and at some point they show up, and I go, it's always okay to enter the suite, whether I'm here or not. I give them permission. You have to give permission every time. And I just knock on the door. Dave knows I'm here all the time, so he knocks, waits for me to reply, comes in, they fix the problem, and then they leave. And I don't have to do a freaking thing. Do I wish we had access to the basement? Yes, I do so badly, but we still do not have access to the basement.
Oh gosh, I hope.
I also don't want them to rush the renovations. I don't want them to do them inaccurately. I don't want them to do them poorly. I want them done correctly. And there is no way they did not find more problems than they initially anticipated, because you always find more problems than you initially. That is how a renovation works.
It'd be cool if they like wrapped it up so you can get your Halloween decorations, though.
I doubt it. It'll be whatever I can craft in the month of October. On top of everything else I have to do.
Okay. Well, good luck. I hope you get to have your skeleton.
Oh, Thaddeus McBones is downstairs. I can't even go get him. Ouch.
He has a name?
Yes, he does. Of course he has a name.
I didn't know he had a name.
Thaddeus McBones. Of course he has a name. It'd be silly. I have enough male friends. There's no way my inanimate objects don't have names. It doesn't take long for them to get names either. And
Susanna says she's going to send some Halloween decorations.
Oh, if I had spare money, I'd just go buy more Halloween decorations. Guys, let's be honest. I would go to the Walmarts. I'd go to the Dollaramos. I would go to the Halloween stores. I would go to the Michaels. And I would go have fun and buy more Halloween decorations. I just wouldn't buy like more wreaths. I've got 4. Like, there's some things I know I don't need, but like I would go buy more pumpkins and more sparkles and more witch things and more other stuff. And I would absolutely start and continue to grow that collection because I love it. I just don't. So it's not happening. And that's how the world works. My mom had bats she was going to bring down because Dad cut out some scroll work bats. They're really, really pretty. But those have to stay. And Saskatchewan, because that's where Dad is.
Ugh.
COVID. Ruining plans. There weren't really any plans. It was like a vague, your father's coming down, I'm coming with him. Like, that's about all the planning we do in the family. We kind of went, okay.
All right.
And Dad still might be able to come down. Like, if he's testing negative, and he's been symptom free for a couple of days and tests negative, he'll come down and do the reno work and stuff. I won't see Mom. Mom will stay home because she's still sick.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to travel when you're sick anyway.
Nobody wants to travel when they're sick. That's just the worst. No,
Suzanne was saying you should add how to prevent the next pandemic.
I should go put it on. Yes.
She also says it's her decision to send you Halloween decorations, so live with it.
Yes, it's true. I actually cannot decide what anybody puts in the mail for me. It just shows up. Which is fair, because, I love Halloween, so it's really not that hard. However, it's like, what did I buy for you? Like Halloween, butterflies, strong colored yarn, weird historical things. Really not that hard. I'm actually looking at like a wash basin and a roller thing and a big stock pot to start doing some of my laundry at home on the stove and moving to linen fibers as often as possible so that I can actually sterilize my clothes and my undergarments. Abby Cox uploaded a video that talks about modern day sewing washing practices. No, you don't want to watch it. Yes, you need to watch it. And she admits she doesn't know what to do. She just, I cannot fully separate myself from the convenience of modern washing machines, which are not environmentally friendly. Even the energy efficiency ones don't clean stuff properly and wreck your clothes. And the way more time consuming Victorian ones because we treat clothes so differently. So I understand where like I'm with her, like I can't fully separate because that is it is inconvenient, but I absolutely can minimize the snot out of how much water wastage and how much I'm wasting and how unclean my clothes are. I can reduce that by treating and when as I'm continuing to grow my wardrobe,
Sounds like
growing
a video that I
into
really don't want to
fabrics.
watch, that I'm going to watch and I'm going to
You
regret
really
it.
gotta watch. Yeah. Yeah, you really gotta watch it. I mean,
Okay, I'll go add it to my to watch list right now.
no,
It's
she
happening.
presents the information wonderfully. Very disconcerting, but I appreciate that she gives you the charts and the stats and the info and says she doesn't know what to do with this information. She knows she has to make changes. She's just not sure how or where. And legally, in some spaces in the world, a lot of Canada and a lot of the states, there are some things you're not allowed to do. Hang clotheslines.
I don't even know where I'd put a clothesline.
But simply the act of putting your clothes outside to dry in the sun sterilizes better than the dryer and is less damaging on your clothes.
True.
Yeah,
Saves you
but
wash
it
later. There
just
we go.
it comes down like, am I going back to old school detergents? Because the washing machine does not get our detergent out; it just stays in the clothes. It's not fully removed, which means your clothes are
Mm-hmm.
not fully cleaned. Yeah, no, thank you.
I know.
No. Mm-mm. Hot water, super hot water wash, and I'm just doing the big items because I'm in an apartment. I don't have a clothesline, but my smaller stuff, I'm pulling that in house. I'm pulling it all in house, and I mean a chunk of my stuff's already hand wash. The undergarments are hand wash. I pay $120+ per
Oh, yeah.
hold the girls up device. Those guys get hand washed with care.
Oh, yes. Oh, very much
All of
care.
my hand knits, if they're not acrylic, they get hand washed. And now I'm just going to hand wash my acrylics and be done with it because that's no thank you. But it doesn't mean I want a rolly thingy and a washboard. It just makes scrubbing easier for me. And a pot so I can actually boil some garments or bring the water up to a hot enough temperature that it works.
So many of my things specifically say don't wash in hot water, though.
We have to look at the fabric types. Like I won't be washing my for sake, guys, I'm not washing my bras in nearly boiling water. But I'm absolutely going to do it for my petticoats, my tights, and I'm starting to make those out of fabrics that can be done. So like and she does and Abby does walk you through this and how the different fabrics work and their level of hypoallergenic and how it is good. And something that linen is stronger when it's wet than when dry. So I'm
Interesting.
moving to the stuff that is closest to my skin to being all linen if possible. And it's going to cost, it's going to take me time to do it. And I'm doing it for a very specific reason because then I can sterilize the stuff that's next to my skin, which is really important
I figure
because
as long as
human
I'm not
bodies are
visibly
gross.
dirty,
Not
as long
even
as I'm not
close.
as long as I'm not visibly dirty and I don't smell funny, I figure I'm okay.
Okay. Try changing practices. Watch the video. It's really important. I'll put
Okay.
it this way. I'm not going to let Mr. B watch the video. He's already a germaphobe.
Oh god, no. Don't do that.
That would be mean.
He'll
But I
never wear clothes again.
might not. He's very comfortable in his own person, which would be weird on all sorts of levels. But it just removing some of the modern practices and going to some of the older ones that work better is what I'm going to try to find that balance between the two, knowing that like I'm still going to put my sheets through the washing machine. I'm still going to put my comforter through the washing
That's,
machine. I'm
that's
still
it's too much
there's still
work.
some bigger items because I don't have a house, so I don't have a clothesline. I don't have a way of putting things out on the line to dry even in here in the wintertime and hanging stuff to dry, which is something you absolutely can still do in the winter. Everybody in Europe knows you can do this. It's a very North American, we're super special thinking that it has to be in the dryer. Does not. You can hang most things fine. We just don't because it takes too long. So we can't be bothered to wait. But I don't know really how much waiting it is because you just hang it up and then you just ignore it till it's done.
Yeah,
You go about
which
your
is a
day.
surprisingly short amount of time if it's
It's really
sunny.
not. It's really not. Yeah,
I have no
it
idea
doesn't
how
take
well it'll
very
work
long.
in January when it's like -20 to -40.
Inside, no, it doesn't take
Well,
much longer.
inside, I guess, yeah. Then you've
Yeah,
got the heat on and the air's dry anyway.
yeah. So it doesn't. If anything, I find it reduces static electricity inside the apartment because I've always got
Oh, because then
excess
you're
moisture,
humidifying the air.
the air with my
Ah,
yeah.
interesting, interesting.
So it keeps the air easier for me to breathe. So, and I don't shock myself as much,
Also
which I
nice.
appreciate. Which I appreciate. So it's not. It really doesn't add any extra time, not noticeably anyway. It's like the when I went with the stovetop kettle, everyone's like, "Oh, it'll be so much more time than the electric." No, it's really not.
I mean,
It's really
you're
not.
still electricing, it's just a different slight source.
It's just a different source. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's fine. But no, it's
Nick,
one of those. I know I need to make the changes, so it's stuff I'm starting to look into.
he
I
says,
need
I
to make
used to set up a portable drying rack in the big sunny window
yeah,
and make my own laundry soap. I can't in
yeah.
this house, but before we had Marvel and moved, I used to do that. Also
I
says
mean,
you can boil your wool if you start with
you
cold
can.
water and don't move it until
Mm-hmm.
it's chilled.
Yeah,
Interesting. Oh yeah, because it's
and you're
heat
supposed
and wet and
friction.
agitation
Yes,
that makes it felt.
yeah.
So as long as you
Whereas,
only do two of the things, you're fine.
yeah, and that's fine. I can do that. And I'm moving to wools because if I've got a layer of linen between me and my wool,
Hmm.
then I'm
I
not washing the
always
wool every time because I've got that barrier between the wool and my grossness that is my human body, which is not
human bodies are
it's
gross.
not
I
clean.
yeah, I was wearing
Not clean.
t-shirts under my sweaters and stuff.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
t-shirts get washed and the sweaters don't,
Don't have to
except
as
like
often.
at
Yeah,
the end of the season.
yeah. Especially for wool stuff. So like that's fine. We don't want to do that with the garment. So, but it's yeah. Just taking a look at it. She was and she's good at linking to primary sources and scientific facts and stuff. So I'm like, cool. I can't even ignore you. It's just you actually do the research.
All the European folks chiming in. I don't even own a dryer. Yeah, fair. Okay.
It's a spoiled, privileged being of North America. It's the same with
All right.
everyone's like
Maybe my experimental Tuesday then for one of these weeks is to just hang my laundry outside. Oh look,
that
I'm so
man.
European.
You have to commit to a month of that
Yeah, I know,
before I
I
will
know.
accept it as an experimental thing. It's not dying, which that was
I
interesting. Did you
don't.
read that post?
No, I haven't yet.
It's a wordy one. Like it is
Oh gosh.
solid chunks of text.
I don't know where.
Woohoo!
I don't even know where I could hang everything outside. Because I've only got the one drying rack, and
You
that's one load.
actually have to go and check to make sure your bylaws allow you to have a clothes rack. A lot of
The
bylaws and a lot
neighbors
of
do. It's fine.
municipals, yeah, a
And
lot of
there's some like string
municipals,
tied to some stuff that I'm pretty sure used to be a clothesline. It's just broken now.
yeah, a lot of them don't. So like, please, people check before you do that because
Also, it's
clotheslines
a
look
bylaw,
cheap.
so like they only enforce it if people complain, and then oh no, it's a fine.
Yeah, so it's like
Oh no, I
I
didn't
loved
know.
it.
I'm so sorry.
I loved it when I had the house. That was my favorite part about the house was hanging everything. And I mean, I hung everything in the summer, and I only used the dryer for the big items in the wintertime. In the summertime, nothing touched the dryer. Everything went out to hang. And my inside personal items hung up downstairs in the laundry room and dried just fine.
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, huge savings on bills because that dryer sucks up so much energy. It is crazy pants. So now that we've ended on a lovely note, I'm glad everybody caught up. We have so much stuff to plan coming up for the next 3 months. October, November, December. It's going to fly by. We're into the last quarter of the year. The last quarter. The last quarter. Cool. So that's a thing.
Oh, Lynn says you're awfully free with the we word. I've hung out laundry all my life, so have a lot of my friends. It's only some neighborhoods that don't allow clotheslines. Fair. Okay, the
Yes.
parts of the world of North America where I have been. We the parts where I have been.
Yeah, most of my life, my mom has hung laundry. We might not have always hung the bedding and stuff, depending on where we were living at the time, because we moved around a lot. But we've always hung the little things and stuff. So like, I'm used to it too, but I know that's not the norm for
I
most
hang
of
the
the
stuff
people
that
I
can't
know.
go in the dryer, which is a surprising amount of my clothes actually.
Yes, I mean they really shouldn't. It's how you wreck them. And we already have fast fashion problems. Let's not add to it. We're knitters. Let's just commit to slow fashion.
Slow fashion.
Just commit and call it
Does
done.
that mean slow laundry too?
Well, why not? Slow down the pace of life.
I work
I
in the
mean,
tech
really,
industry. I don't know if that works.
yeah, put it up and you forget about it for like 24 hours. It's really not that hard.
I definitely can't leave stuff up overnight. A raccoon will run off with it.
On your inside, not your outside. On your
Oh,
inside.
okay. Okay, okay, okay. I
On
can't
your
leave stuff
outside, that
outside
comes.
overnight.
You want to. Now, see, that word comes in handy if you're doing your laundry first thing in the morning before 7 a.m. You hang it out on the line. It's absolutely dry by the time you're done work, and it can just come in. That's an amazing idea. Maybe that's what Aaron's mom does. I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm not up that early. My first meeting is not until 9:30. I am not getting up at like 5:30 to do laundry. That is not going to get me out of bed. Mm-mm.
Well, I would just prep it and do the wash load at 6:30 to 7 because it's only like 30, 40 minutes for a wash load.
Suppose.
Get up, start laundry, make a cup of coffee, do your yoga, start your breakfast, pull your washing out after your breakfast, hang it on the line,
Yeah,
and then
no,
you've
chores
got
do not
an
happen
hour.
in the...
So we've
chores
done
not
that by
happening
like
in the morning.
7:38. First move meetings at 9:30. That's an hour and a half of knitting downtime first thing in the morning, where you can watch some
I cannot convince
YouTube. You
myself
could
out
do
of bed
the.
for chores. It's not happening. I can convince myself out of bed for like
I do.
meditation and yoga and tea and knitting. Chores not happening. Mm-mm. Chores cannot be part of that, or I will go and not get up.
I love it because then when I'm done work, I don't have anything to do in the evenings. I can just knit and relax and watch TV or play video games and stuff. I don't have extra stuff sitting on my plate. I already dealt with that. Finished.
Karen says, if you leave it outside overnight, it'll just get wet again. Yes.
Yeah, hey. Oh man, morning dew. That would be a bad idea. There's been several times where I've looked out in the backyard at night and gone, and then waited for my brother-in-law to come home from work and gone, guess what I did? For him to go, I'll go get your laundry for you because I can't go out in the dark anymore. Woohoo! Guys.
Lynn says, my favorite job is hanging laundry. Here in Calgary, it dries so fast you could get 4 loads done. Dang.
Go, yeah. Yeah, if you've
It's
got a
just
nice
humid
place with a
here.
breeze, if you got a nice breeze, whew,
I don't know how
so
it dries
fast.
around here. Anyway,
Manitoba, it
I'm going to
dries
find
quickly.
out today, I guess, because I have to do laundry after this.
Sure, why not? Commit. Do a month of hanging as much laundry as physically possible.
I even have that patio outside with the roof, so I can even hang stuff in the rain, technically.
Yes, good. Yeah. Oh,
I
can you
don't know
imagine
how
how
well
good your
that would
clothes
work
would
with the
smell?
humidity.
Oh, just imagine how good your clothes would smell.
Stuff hung outside does smell better.
Guys,
All
what
right,
are you going to
carry
work
on.
on for this month? Anybody else doing craft off projects with us? Anybody else look at my book list and go, Jocelyn, you need to get out more. You are not wrong. You're not wrong. There are weeks where I don't go anywhere. So good. And it's a Halloween month. Halloween month.
It's spooky season. Spooky season.
Spooky season. Yeah. All right. We're all caught up on chat. We're all done. I'll do an outro.
Yeah, looks like. People are talking about
Excellent.
clotheslines.
It's a thing. I didn't
I
realize
had
that
no
people just
idea.
didn't do it. I just realized people didn't do it because we did.
And
So I
realize
didn't
hanging
know.
stuff outside was such a
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, it's a thing.
I don't know. I live with a bunch. I'm in a neighborhood with a bunch of students, so like, what
I
laundry?
learned
Do
from
they
my
even do
mom.
laundry? I don't know.
They must do laundry because they go to out in public. And I would imagine some of them like to attract members of opposite or same sex for things, which, I mean, you don't really do so well when you're smelly.
Heated drying racks are a thing?
Yes.
What's a heated drying rack? What does that even mean? Oh, and Suzanne is requesting a list of the books you've read.
I need to start doing that. I need to start doing a monthly post with you guys with links for all the books that I've read because it's a lot some months. I will try to get that posted this week for people if I can.
Excuse me.
Even if you are not a Patreon member, I am going to start posting the monthly programming schedule as such as it is. And I will do a second post for the book links, and I will make those public. So if you're just following us on Patreon, like you just like the page, if you check Patreon, I will make sure that those posts are public so that you guys can see them as well, whether you're a Patreon member or not. Just as an info thing. Because that is how the cookie crumbles. I really need to do that. I need to do a list of links and stuff for people. All right. I'm going to say until whenever I convince Diana to do gaming this week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm apparently doing gaming this week. I'm Diana.
No matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit. Oh, I was absolutely so off on that. I was too busy laughing at myself. It's bad. Oh, and Susanna requests a weekly post for books.
I could probably do weekly. Well, maybe.
Okay.
I'm
going to hit the button
links. Now. Okay.